team of professionals make your home or business feel new again with flooring, carpeting, and window treatments from the best manufacturers at prices that will make you smile. Ask for details at Rice's Capital Carpet, Highway 13 North in Marshfield. Call today at 715-384-4554. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Rice's Capital Carpet.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I agree, and I'd like to help. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Brian Kaiser. Together, we can give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office at 617 West Blodgett here in Marshfield. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Marshfield and Stevens Point girls basketball this evening. And before we get things started for tonight, let's pause for our national anthem. There is our national anthem. We're set for basketball tonight here at Stevens Point. Marshfield and Spash in a girls basketball matchup. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger basketball on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLBWOSQ.com. Our producer this evening is Tom Muffmeyer. I'm Gene DeLisio, and let's review our starting lineups for this contest. A service of Rail Transport of Marshfield. Visit rail.jobs to join the winning rail team. Experience the power of red with Rail Transport of Marshfield. For Stevens Point this evening, starting at center is Leah Ernst, 5'11 sophomore, averaging 17 points per game. The forwards are Rachel Sullivan, 5'9 senior, averaging 8 points per game, and Haley Gregorich, 5'7 senior, averaging 4.1 points per game. The guards are Madison Rogan, 5'4 junior, averaging 20.4 points per game, and Maggie Nagard, who will play her college basketball next season at Drake University in Des Moines. Nagard, 5'10 senior, averaging 19.8 points per game. Prior to the ball game this evening, she was presented with a signed autographed basketball commemorating her 1,000th career point, which she reached earlier this season. Spash is coached by Craig Terpstra, who coached the Stevens Point girls basketball team between 1994 and 2006, and came back and took the head coaching job this year. So he's in his 13th season as Spash head coach. His record 168 and 106, Spash 7-0 overall, 1-0 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. For the Marshfield Tigers, at center, Hannah Everton, 6' senior, averaging 8.7 points per game. The forwards are Jenna Jacoby, 5'9 junior, averaging 12 points per game, and Meg Bryan, 5'9 senior, averaging 11 points per contest. The guards are Katie Johnson, 5'6 sophomore, averaging 1.7, and Corianne Johnson, 5'8 senior, averaging 7.3. Tigers coached by Heidi Michaels, assisted by Dean Bryan and Jess Nowitzki. Tigers 1-2. They have no conference record. Opening tip goes to Stevens Point, and Spash brings the ball in the front court to our left. Ernst out top, starts to drive on Meverton, gives to Rogan in the lane. She's cut off. Nygaard on the far side, picked up by Johnson. High post Nygaard to Ernst, who walks with the ball, driving the lane. So Stevens Point turns the ball over on their first possession. Now they'll apply some backcourt pressure. You'd likely see this, and here's a steal right away by Gregorich. Tigers turn the ball over, and then Marshfield gets the ball right back at the center line. Katie Johnson with it, comes across the line to Meverden. Likely to see a lot of pressure by Stevens Point after Marshfield showed they could not handle the press against Bayport last Friday night. Tigers have the ball here. Meg Bryan out top, starts to drive. Cut off near side, Corianne Johnson. She'll lob inside from Meverden through her hands, but gives back outside again to Bryan. Baseline Jacoby, one-on-one with Ernst. She'll go baseline, get inside, go cross court to Bryan. A baseline shot up and in. That's a long two for Meg Bryan. And the Tigers grab a 2-0 lead. They do not press as Spash comes back down the floor. Rogan on the far wing. Baseline to Sullivan, back out top, knee guard. And a long three-pointer over Corianne Johnson missed, and Meg Bryan flies in for the rebound. Gives back to Katie Johnson. She'll move to front court. Corianne on the far wing. Starts to drive, cut off. Bryan near side bobbles it, but finds Meverden in the corner. Hannah picked up by Sullivan. There's a mismatch for Marshfield there. Bryan to the baseline, trying to feed Hannah, but Sullivan fronting her. Katie Johnson on the far wing. Pulls it out on Rogan. Back out top again to Corianne. Man-to-man pressure here by Stevens Point. Now out top, Meverden, top of the key, into Jacoby, drops the ball, and picked up by Gregorich, a Tiger turnover. Smash to front court lead for Ernst behind the defense, and her shot blocked into the corner by Meverden. Picked up by Katie Johnson, then loose again. Grabbed by Ernst, she'll drive and lay it in. Boy, the Tigers got the block by Meverden, but Stevens Point still scores it. Now Bryan rushing to front court. Comes down the floor to Jacoby, shot in the lane is off the glass, and it rolls out of there. And Sullivan back for the rebound. Tigers broke the press that time. Got the good shot, but it rolled out. Here comes Spash to front court. Knee guard between a couple of defenders. This is a wild shot. Pulled in by Corianne Johnson. Up ahead to Katie. She'll drive down the floor on Rogan, and her shot blocked out of bounds. But Rogan got the arm on this play, and we'll have a call on Stevens Point. Foul on Madison Rogan, her first foul. First team foul. And Katie Johnson was shooting. And on the foul line to our right, attempting her first free throws of the season. Katie gets set. Her first foul shot is good. 15:43 remaining, first half. And the Tigers have a 3-2 lead. One more for Katie Johnson. Shot is away and rolls around and falls in. Tigers lead by 2. Spash back on the attack. Knee guard on the far wing. Hands to Rogan, out top, picked up by Katie Johnson. Gregorich, baseline to Ernst. Fires a 15-footer, no good, and Meverden clears the rebound. Hands to Katie Johnson, no pressure here. Corianne now has it, and she moved back across the timeline from Marshfield. Far side, Meg Bryan. Back out top, Jacoby. Looks into Meverden. Ball slapped loose and stolen by Rogan. As Sullivan knocked it free as she was overplaying Hannah. Stevens Point to front court. Pass inside to Ernst, and as Meverden comes over to block that pass, he comes down on top of Ernst and is calling for a foul. First on Hannah Meverden, and the first team foul. Spash inbounding, baseline front court. Sullivan, high post to Ernst. She'll hand back out to knee guard. Drives on Johnson in the lane, leans in, 10-footer banked, missed, but fouled on the shot. And this likely to be on Corianne, I believe. It is on Corianne Johnson. Her first foul. Second team foul. Maggie Nagard shooting 83% on the foul line. Line left for 2. The first is good. Here's a change for Stevens Point. Rogan is out. Kaylin Kustahuski, 5'5" senior, averaging 2.7 points per game, comes into the contest. The second free throw by Nygard also good. That ties the ball game at 4. Now Marshfield back on the attack, front court to our right. Johnson far side to Katie Johnson, baseline to Bryan. 15-foot shot by Meg, rims out of there, kept alive by Jacoby, tips it outside to Meverden. Tigers have the ball back. Corianne Johnson to the free throw line, hands to Jacoby at the high post, into Hannah. That pass broken up again and stolen by Spash. Tigers trying to force the ball to Hannah, but too many deflectors in there. Baseline, here's Leah Ernest from 15 feet away, no good, and Corianne Johnson gets there for the rebound. Comes back to front court. Corianne, by the way, had 11 rebounds in that ball game against Bayport. Tigers reset. Jacoby top of the key. Bryan top of the circle. Comes near side to Corianne. Can't get the shot off. Jacoby top of the circle once again. Now Katie Johnson to the near side. Can't drive. Meg Bryan pulls it out. Starts to penetrate in the lane. Leans in. One-hander off the glass. No good. Pulled in by Ernest. Stevens Point rushing back to front court. Ernest top of the circle. Far side to Nygard. She'll pull up. Baseline to Sullivan. Turns in the corner without the shot. Jacoby stops her. Back to Ernest in the lane. Was back near side. Here's Nygaard once again, picked up by Corianne Johnson. Off the screen, a pick and roll to Ernest, broken up nicely by the Tigers. Tigers read the pick and roll very nicely, and either Bryan or Meverden knocked it away. Now Jacoby will leave, and Maddie Michaels comes in, 5'7" freshman, averaging 3.7 points per game. Spash inbounding, baseline front court. Ernest at the high post. Rubs off to Nygaard. She'll drive the lane. Baseline, here's Husky with a long two. It's no good. And Meverden lost the rebound on the floor. Still loose. And now Corianne and Ernest tie each other up. Possession will go to Marshfield.
Possession goes to Marshfield.
Mentioned Corianne Johnson, 11 rebounds in that game against Bayport, averaging 6.7 per game. Now has 3 already tonight. Spash with backcourt pressure. Meg Bryan up the near sideline. And she'll cross the 10-second line for Marshfield. Near side, Corianne Johnson. Back out top, Meverden. Holds it. Bryan on the near wing. And she'll launch a 3 in traffic. It's off the rim, no good. Pulled in by Ernest. Stevens Point back on the attack. Far side, Nygaard with it outside the arc. Comes near side, Husky. Lobs inside for Sullivan. Push from behind. And boy, Hannah Meverden is there. Let's hope that's not on Hannah. Michaels is there as well. It's going to be on Maddie. First on Maddie Michaels, the 3rd team foul. Now Rogan back in the ball game for Stevens Point, along with Maddie Fink, a 5'11" senior, averaging 3.6 per game. And the Tigers insert Katie Osinski, 5'9" senior, averaging 5 points per game. We're also going to see Desiree Weisenberger, 5'11" sophomore, averaging 1.3. 13-17 remaining. First half, Tigers and Spash tied at 4. Spash inbounding, underneath to Sullivan, knocked loose, and comes outside to Osinski. Katie makes a nice steal, and Marshfield has the ball back. Corianne Johnson comes to front court. Near side, Weisenberger on the arc. Holds it, back out top again to Michaels. Pass inside to Osinski, triple teamed, has it rip loose and walk with the ball anyway. Boy, Spash really collapsing on Marshfield's taller players, be it Meverden or Osinski on the inside. 12:55 left, first half. We're tied at 4. Spash to forecourt. Nygaard on the near side. Off a screen. Stops in the circle. Near side, Husky. Lobs inside to Ernest. Short jumper in the lane is good. Good entry pass by Husky over Osinski to Ernest for the basket. And Stevens Point now leads by 2. Marshfield to front court. This is Spash's first lead. Johnson into Weisenberger down low, goes up strong and missed the lay-in, and the rebound pulled in by Fink. Ahead to Nygaard. Spash on the attack. Nygaard far side, pulls up, launches a 3, and it rims and falls out of there and tipped out of bounds, and last hit by Sullivan. It's Marshfield ball. Tigers bring Hannah Meverden right back in, replacing Katie Osinski. Jenna Jacoby back up off the bench as well, replacing Desiree Weisenberger. 12:20 remaining, first half. Tigers trail 6-4. Backcourt pressure here by Spash. Johnson double teamed, lost it. Picked up by Sullivan. Tiger turnover. Rogan has it on the far wing. Baseline, Husky turns in the corner. Pulls it back outside to the circle. Hands back to Rogan. Fakes the 3 on Jacoby. She'll lob inside for Sullivan. Open down low, lays it in. Sullivan for 2. And Stevens Point by 4. Katie Johnson breaking the press. Comes to front court for Marshfield. Stands out front with it. Far side, Jacoby. High post, Meverden turns. Goes back outside, Katie Johnson with it. Picked up by Husky. Near side, Michaels open for 3. Good. Maddie Michaels drills a 3. Her 4th of the year. And the Tigers back to within 1. Spash on the attack. Nygaard has it top of the key. Hits Rogan on the far side. Man-to-man defense by Marshfield. Husky on the near wing. Cross-court, Nygaard open for a 3-point try. No good. And Meverden pulls in the rebound. Ahead to Jacoby. Jenna to front court. To the free throw line. Pulls up. She'll launch a shot from there, and it rims out. But the rebound of Maddie Michaels back up and missed. And Stevens Point pulls down the rebound, and a foul on the rebound try. And it'll be against Marshfield, I believe. And that might be Meverden. Yep. That second foul on Hannah Meverden. 4th team foul. So Hannah out. Katie Osinski back in for the Tigers. Leah Ernst back in for Stevens Point. Sullivan is out. 11:05 left first half. Spash by 1. Stevens Point ball. Nygaard outside the arc. Husky swings near side to Ernest outside the arc, or excuse me, to Fink. She'll hold. Now Ernest on the drive, stopped by Osinski. Far side, Kustahuski stopped on the free throw line. Hands back to Rogan, picked up by Katie Johnson. Rogan lobs in for Osinski, for Ernest, knocked down by Osinski, and the Tigers have a steal. Good hands there by Katie Osinski. Tiger ball, Jacoby outside the arc. Comes near side to Michaels, can't get the three. Goes back outside, Katie Johnson, picked up by Rogan. Osinski high post. Baseline, Maddie Michaels in the corner, turns without the shot. Jacoby going down the lane, leans in, comes back outside again to Corey Ann. Now Michaels, top of the circle. Lobs inside to Osinski, short jumper, baseline, good. Nice pick and roll by the Tigers. Osinski scores it, and a Stevens Point player is down. Stevens Point player down below the basket. That appears to be Maddie Fink, the 5'11 senior. A key reserve on this ball club, averaging 3.6 points per game. And she's being rolled over. And looks like the medical personnel checking her jaw area. So she'll be pulled up. 10-14 left first half. Marshfield now leads 9-8. And Fink goes to the bench and will sit there for a spell. Tigers hanging with this very strong Stevens Point ball club tonight. Keep in mind Hannah Meverton on the bench with 2 fouls.
Checking for Smash, number 5, Jenna Bohansky, and number 21,
Smash brings in Jenna Bohansky, 5'2 senior, averaging 2.9 per game. Also Haley Pavelski, 5'8 senior, averaging 2.6. It's point on the attack in front court to our left. Nygaard in the lane to Pavelski. Was back outside again. Rogan, a very long three is away and good.
Rogan for 3.
Madison Rogan with her 18th three-point basket of the year. And Stevens Point back up by 1. There's a walking call on Michaels, trying to beat some pressure in backcourt. That's 5 Marshfield turnovers in this ball game. 9:55 remaining first half. Tigers trail 11-9. Smash inbounding at quarter court. Ernest throw into Nygaard, and she'll recross the timeline. Stands out front with it, near side to Rogan. Picked up by Katie Johnson, goes baseline underneath, short jumper partially blocked, and Katie grabs it from Marshfield. Tigers have the ball back, good defense there by Katie Johnson. Jacoby top of the circle, far side to Michaels. Man-to-man defense again by Spash. Katie Johnson can drive. Near side Corey Ann with it. Will bob in for Osinski, batted loose on the floor and stolen by Stevens Point. Here comes Spash on the run out. Ernest down the lane. Layup is up and rolls out of there. And tipped on the floor and taken by Spash. Out top, a 3 by Rogan is good. Boy, the Tigers lost a defensive rebound, and Spash hits the 3 to go up by 5, their biggest lead. Inbound pass knocked away by Ernest. And the Tigers get to, now they're going to reverse themselves, I believe. Ball goes back to Stevens Point. Apparently the inbound pass knocked out of bounds off of a Marshfield player. That's 7 Tiger turnovers, and Spash has it right back. Inbounding baseline front court. A lob up to Pavelski. Gives to Rogan, baseline to Nygaard. Starts to penetrate, stopped on the foul line. Ernest going down the lane on Jacoby, lays it up and it rolls out of there. Tipped around, claimed by Jacoby, and Jenna has a run out. Jacoby with a 2-on-2, she'll drive, lay it up and miss it. The rebound though to Katie Johnson, and then she's tied up going back up. And she and Bohansky get tied up. Now behind the play, there's a Stevens Point player down. Stevens Point player down behind the play. Jump ball called on that rebound. Possession goes to Stevens Point. But now another Stevens Point player is down. This player laying on the floor. And that is Rogan, and she's holding her mouth. And going off the floor, apparently some blood in her mouth. We have 8:50 remaining in the first half, and Marshfield trails Stevens Point 14-9. Want to remind you to nominate and vote for your favorite high school athletes as our WDLB WOSQ High School Athlete of the Month. Get the details at MarshfieldAreaSports.com. Our High School Athlete of the Month is a service of Burt Trophy and Awards of Marshfield and Cost Cutters Family Hair Care in Marshfield. We'll have a slight delay here as the staff comes out and wipes up some blood that is located in the lane area in the front court to our left. That's where Rogan went down. and apparently bleeding from the mouth. So that'll be taken care of. And so a quick delay here, 8:51 remaining in the first half. And Marshfield trails Stevens Point 14-9. And that blood being wiped up. Rogan, quite a ball player. Madison Rogan, averaging over 20 points per game, has scored 20 points or more 6 times in her career. In fact, she's been 20 points or more each of Stevens Point's last 3 ball games. She's only a junior, but she's also only 5'4", and so likely not a Division I prospect. Very quick, very good shooter, but probably on the Division I level would have a tough time guarding a bigger guard, so likely a Division II player. But has the talent, the quickness, the shooting ability to play on that level, certainly, but probably not a Division I program. Stevens Point officials still cleaning up that blood spot in the lane area to our left, and Stevens Point will have the basketball as play resumes. They're now wiping up a blood trail where Rogan went off the floor to the locker room. Again, 8:51 remaining, first half, and Marshfield trails Stevens Point 14-9. This is Point's biggest lead. Marshfield has had 7 turnovers so far in this ball game, although not the type of turnovers they had against Bayport, where this could not handle the press. I think at least 3 of Marshfield's turnovers have been trying to force the ball to the inside, trying to get the ball inside to Hannah Meverden or to Katie Usinski against some overplaying Stevens Point defenders. Still wiping up those blood spots. And that should be about done. This is Larry Buckberger's refereeing crew. Larry from Marathon, the former Marathon girls basketball coach, had that brief stint of coach between Bill Knetter and Jeff Schneider. And now we're set to resume play. Spash ball in front court to our left. Knee guard outside the arc. Gets a screen, drives to the foul line, stop there. Back outside to Bohanski. In the corner, Gregorich drives, cut off. Goes back to Bohanski once again. Now knee guard on the near side, picked up by Bryan. Top of the circle, a long 2 by Gregorich is up and in. Allie Gregorich for 2. Gives Spash a 7-point lead, their biggest. Again, some pressure and a pass knocked out of bounds by Ernest. Tigers will inbound again, baseline front court. Spash with a 1-2-1-1 press here. Corianne Johnson coming back in for Marshfield for Maddie Michaels. Tigers inbounding, baseline backcourt. Johnson up the near sideline. Comes up the sideline all the way, goes baseline to Jacoby. Back out top to O'Brien. Baseline Corianne in the corner. Dribbles back to the top of the key, drops the ball off her leg, but grabs it back in the center circle. One-on-one with Gregorich. Stopped out front. Needs some help, finds Bryan top of the key. Made to the near side of the baseline. Goes all the way underneath and comes back out again and drops the ball over the baseline, but it was tipped away by Ernest. Rachel Sullivan reports back in for Stevens Point for Haley Pavelski. 7:55 remaining, first half. Tigers trail 16-9. Marshfield inbounding, baseline front court. Bryan in the lane, leans in, one-hander away, no good. And the rebound grab by Stevens Point. And a run out for Stevens Point, a 3-on-3. Gregorich stopped on the far wing, gives to Ernest. She'll go baseline on Johnson, muscle it up below the basket, but there's some contact and a foul. Ernest very strong and just kind of overpowered Corianne in the basket. That's 2 fouls on Corianne, 15 fouls. So both Meverden and Corianne Johnson have 2 fouls on the Marshfield side. Spash inbounding, baseline front court. Sullivan looking, passes underneath and nobody's there. Corianne Johnson makes the steal. Tigers come back on the attack, trailing by 7. Pass far side to Katie Johnson. Backs it out top Bryan. Can't get off the 3 on knee guard. Now Jacoby in the circle. Baseline, Katie Johnson on the drive. Stop, gives to Jacoby. 10-footer baseline, no good. And the rebound cleared by knee guard. Here's Spash back up the floor. Front court to Pavelski. She'll drive, stopped. Back out to knee guard. She'll drive the lane again. Throw it up in traffic and miss it. And in traffic, Osinski clears the rebound for Marshfield. Tough rebound there for Katie. Now Bryan comes back on the attack. Tigers down by 7. Katie Johnson on the far wing. Top of the circle, Jacoby looks in, wants Osinski down low. Katie to the basket, lays up and missed it, but was fouled on the play. That's the first time they got the ball to a tall player inside without that player being fronted by a help defender. Foul is on Ernest. Her first, second team foul. Tigers saw that Osinski was open in the lane and her defender was behind her, so they got the ball to her. And Katie got the shot off, shooting 2 free throws. The first is no good. 6:53 remaining, first half. Tigers trail Stevens Point 16-9. Katie Osinski with the second free throw. It is away and around and in. Tigers down by 6. Point to forecourt. Nygaard on the far wing. Has a brace on her right leg, but not a splint. She'll drive inside. Cut off. Ball knocked loose in the corner and out of bounds. A lot of these girls wear these big braces. She does not have that. She has an elastic brace on her leg. Now Meverden and Michaels back in for Osinski and Corianne Johnson. Nygaard missed most of last year due to knee surgery. Spash inbounding, sideline front court. Nygaard out top on Bryant. Far side hands back to Gregorich. Sullivan at the free throw line turns back outside Nygaard to the baseline. All the underneath comes back outside and the pass goes off of Custa Husky's hands out of bounds. Point turnover. Desiree Weisenberger back in for the Marshfield Tigers. And Jacoby will leave. Tigers coming up the floor. Meverden at the high post. Comes to Bryan on the near wing. Tigers set in front court to our right, trailing by 6. Near side, Weisenberger to the baseline. Stop, double team along the corner. Needs some help, comes back out to Meverden, and a timeout charge to Marshfield. Coach Michael is seeing some of her players in distress. Tigers use their first timeout with 6:10 remaining in the first half, and Stevens Point leading Marshfield 16-10. Other Wisconsin Valley Conference games this evening. Wisconsin Rapids and Wausau West tonight. The boys game is at Wausau West, and the girls game tonight at Wisconsin Rapids. And Wausau East and Merrill square off tonight in a girls-boys doubleheader at Merrill. The boys game now underway. The girls contest begins at 7:45 at the Merrill Fieldhouse. 6:10 remaining first half. Tigers trail 16-10. Tigers out with Meverden, Weisenberger, Michaels, Bryan, and Katie Johnson. Tigers inbounding, baseline front court. Meg Bryan to inbound. Comes out top to Michaels at the free throw line, into Meverden, and that pass off her fingertips and stolen by Nygaard. 8 Tiger turnovers. Nygaard to front court. Stopped out top, far side, Custa Husky. Lob inside for Sullivan, batted out of bounds by Weisenberger. Nice play by Desiree, went in front of the recipient, knocked that ball loose. The Tigers now bring in Sophie Kane, 5'9" senior, replacing Hannah Meverden. 6 minutes left in the first half. Tigers trail 16-10. Spash inbounding, baseline front court. Ernest looking. Comes in the corner to Custa Husky. Can't penetrate. Now downstairs to Ernest. Turn, shoots over Weisenberger. Short jumper missed, and Meg Bryan goes high to grab the rebound. Meg back across the timeline. Near side, Katie Johnson holds outside the arc. Top of the circle, Kane. Far side to Bryan. A 3 by Meg Bryan, up and in. Meg Bryan for 3, her 9th of the year. Tigers back to within 3. Spash on the attack. Nygaard to the baseline. Stop, and here's a push here on either Bryan or Kane. It's on Meg Bryan. First on Meg. 6th team foul. Hannah Meverden back in for Sophie Kane. Spash inbounding, baseline front court. 5.5 left first half. Spash by 3. Ernest looking. Lobs on the near side to Gregorich. Back to Ernest in the corner. Inside to a Pavelski. Back to Ernest. Cut off. Sullivan on the far wing. Starts to drive on Weisenberger. Gets inside. Is in too deep. Comes back outside again. Nygaard almost dragged her pivot foot. Was back outside to Custa Husky. Picked up by Michaels. Sullivan on the far wing off a double screen to the foul line. Down the lane. Off balance shot up and it rolls in. A tough shot with the left hand for Rachel Sullivan. And the Tigers down by 5, being pressed once again. Bryan ahead to Johnson. That ball tipped out of bounds, though, by Gregorich. Bash put the press on that time. And the Tigers lucky that ball batted out of bounds. Marshfield ball in backcourt. Katie Johnson across the timeline. Stands out front. Bounces near side to Meverden. And outside the arc, backs in down low. Cut off, back outside to Weisenberger. Lobs it into the side. That bad Pass stolen by Negard, up ahead to Ernest. She'll have a drive and lay it up and in. Stealing basket for Leah Ernest. Marshfield now with 9 turnovers, and the Tigers trail by 7. Marshfield gets Sophie Kane back in the ball game for Desiree Weisenberger. And Rogan comes back in with a new number.
Checking back in for Smash. Now we're at number 22.
Madison Rogan with some blood earlier. Now number 22 rather than 33. Tigers down by 7, 4.5 left in the first half. Marshfield inbounding at 3-quarter court. Bryan into Michaels, right back to Meg Bryan. And it looks like Smash going to a trap here. Ernest at the timeline meeting Bryan. And Meg spins, comes across the timeline, then lost the ball but picked up by Meverton. Bryan gets it back with a high dribble. Baseline to Kane, back outside again Bryan. Out top Katie Johnson, down the lane, drops the ball, and a reach-in foul on Ernest. Foul on Leah Ernest, her second foul. Only the third Smash team foul. And so Smash wants a change here. Maddie Fink comes back in for Leah Ernest. And Katie Osinski comes in. As long as Ernest is not in the ball game, Coach Michaels will I thought she was going to pull Meverton, but she does not. She'll pull Kane and put Osinski in. And now here comes Corianne Johnson momentarily, but first Marshfield inbounds. Meverton hands back outside to Bryan. Meg trapped out near the sideline. Comes outside again to Mighty Michaels, batted away out of bounds to Marshfield. And now Corianne Johnson back in for Katie Johnson in the Tiger lane. Tigers inbound at quarter court. Corianne Johnson will throw it in. Looks to Meverton at the hash mark. And Hannah double team, lost the ball but gets it back. Hands out to Maddie Michaels, a 3-point try. Good again. Maddie Michaels with 2 threes tonight. And the Tigers trail by 4. Back on the floor, here comes a driving lay-in by Sullivan. Sullivan down the floor quickly by 4-2. Tigers down by 6, 3:40 left in the first half. Marshfield on the attack. Far side, Maddie Michaels. Pulls it back out top of the key. Standing dribble. Near side, Osinski outside the arc. Outside the arc again to Johnson. Corianne on the far wing. Comes near side to Bryan, knocked down by Rogan, and thrown back on the floor from out of bounds, but Madison Rogan is out of bounds herself, and the ball stays with Marshfield. Tigers will inbound at the center line, trailing by 6, with 3:20 left in the first half. Bryan will throw in, finds Meverton near the sideline. Back outside again to Bryan. Meg in the center circle, near side to Michaels. Picked up by Negard. Maddie holds the ball, needs some help, and bounces outside to Meverton. She'll hand back to Bryan. Tigers set once again in front court to our right, trailing by 6. Far side, Corianne Johnson. Near side to Michaels. Picked up by Negard. Bryan outside the arc, 3-point try away. Off the rim, no good. Kept alive by Meverton, but tipped to Sullivan. Baseball pass up the floor to Gregorich. Drives 2-on-2, lays it up and in. Hallie Gregorich for 2. Smash leads by 8. This is their biggest lead. 2:40 remaining in the first half. Marshfield back on the attack. Corianne Johnson near the center line, picked up by Rogan. Michaels on the far wing, facing a double team on the far sideline. And the Tigers get a timeout here to avoid the turnover. Tigers' second timeout. 2.5 remaining in the first half. Our score, Stevens Point 24, Marshfield 16. Back with more basketball in just a moment.
Big day. Your first board meeting as the new CEO. Yay.
Good luck. You're gonna fail.
You've got this.
You couldn't just let it go, could you? Always the hero.
Hey, I'm security. I'd do the same for you.
Well, you wouldn't have to, since I worry about everything that would never happen to me.
Dream Realty in Marshfield.
Here's another Tooth Truth from Dental Clinic of Marshfield.
Do you feel anxious about dentists? Well, you're not alone. A lot of people feel anxiety about dental visits. Dental Clinic of Marshfield wants to help. Dental Clinic of Marshfield Dentists will make your comfort a priority.
Dental Clinic of Marshfield. Dental care for life. Schedule an appointment today at any of their 3 offices in Marshfield, Stratford, or Neillsville. Learn more at dentalclinicofmarshfield.com.
You're listening to Marshfield Tiger basketball on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB-WOSQ.com. Tom Uthmeyer is producing our broadcast this evening. I'm Gene Delisio at Stevens Point. 2.5 left in the first half. Marshfield trail Stevens Point 24-16. Tiger ball in front court to our right. Pass on the far side to Katie Johnson, knocked out of bounds by Haley Gregorich. Tigers inbound at quarter court. Bryan looking into backcourt to Michaels. And Maddie will recross on Sullivan. Back to Bryan on the far wing, baseline to Corianne Johnson. Double teamed in that corner, dribbles through it, attacks, goes inside to Osinski, goes up off the glass and missed it. The rebound claimed by Maddie Fink. Stevens Point ball, Nagard all the way to the basket, gives inside to Sullivan, her shot blocked, but Corianne Johnson called on the foul. And it'll be 3 fouls on Corianne. 3rd foul on Corianne, 7th foul. So Johnson has 3 and Meverton has 2. Bryan and Michaels each with 1. And Rachel Sullivan, 54% on the foul line. Line left for 2. Her first try is good. Katie Johnson back in for Corianne Johnson. 2 minutes left in the first half. And Stevens Point leads 25-16. 1 more for Rachel Sullivan. And this shot is also good. 10-point lead for Spash late in the first half. Spash with a 3-quarter or a half-court trap here. Bryan behind the line, hands to Michaels. She'll cross, facing a double team, comes back outside to Bryan. Near side to Katie Johnson, into Osinski, goes up and missed the lay-in. Rebound claimed by Gregorich. Spash on the breakout. Gregorich down the lane all the way. Scoop shot is up and no good. Kept outside and grabbed by Sullivan, back up, no good. And the rebound claimed by Meg Bryan. Tigers going to break there, make them across the timeline. Far side, Katie Johnson. 90 seconds of the period. Jacoby on the near wing. Back out front to Katie, far side to Michaels. Katie Johnson near side again to Bryan. High post Jacoby. Jenna goes down the lane, pulls up. Outside Michaels for 3, too short. Long rebound comes outside and claimed by Gregorich of Stevens Point. Ahead to Rogan. She'll drive, stopped on the wing by Katie Johnson. Pass downstairs to Sullivan. Inside to Nagard. She's open for the lay-in. Nagard for 2, and the Spash lead now is at 12. Their biggest. Final minute of the first half. Marshfield comes back down the floor. Johnson on the far wing. Picked up by Rogan. Comes near side to Michaels. Maddie top of the circle. And here's a double dribble on Maddie. Picked up her dribble and put it back down again. Tigers have turned the ball over 10 times here in the first half. Stevens Point has 4. And 45 seconds left before halftime. And Stevens Point has the basketball. Nagard coming into front court to our left. Picked up by Meg Bryan. Far side Rogan. Holds at the hash mark. Comes near side Nagard again. She'll launch a 3-point try. No good. Long rebound to Jenna Jacoby. Tigers on the run out. Jenna stopped on the far wing. Pulls it back outside. Bryan top of the key. Comes near side Osinski. A 15-footer by Katie is up and it rattles out of there. And a rebounding foul on Jacoby, who undercut Rogan for the loose ball. That's the first foul on Jenna and the 8th team foul. And Stevens Point will have free throws with 19 seconds in the period.
First, team 8.
Madison Rogan, 85% on the foul line. And she'll shoot a 1-and-1. Haley Pavelski back in for Maddie Fink in the Spash lineup. Rogan averaging 13.7 points per game in her career against Marshfield. And the first free throw missed, and Katie Osinski there for the rebound. Almost walked with it, and the official said she does. She was double teamed and lost possession with 16 seconds left. Now Stevens Point wants a timeout. Spash takes a timeout there first. 16 seconds left before halftime. And Stevens Point on top, 28-16. Now Marquette men's basketball coach Steve Wojciechowski will talk about college basketball with us on the Steve Wojciechowski program. That comes your way Thursday evening at 6 p.m. right here on AM 1450 WDLB and on WDLB WOSQ marshfield.com. We have 16 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The first half, rather, about the old second quarter. And Marshfield trailing 28-16. Point will inbound in front court. Ernest will throw it in, baseline front court. Still looking. And lobs near side Sullivan to the foul line, can't get down low. Baseline Nygaard with 13 on the drive in the lane, and we have a reach in, I think, against maybe Osinski. And they'll call that on the shot. Wasn't on Meg Bryan. Second on Meg, 19th foul. Maggie Nygaard shooting free throws. Her first try is good. 10 seconds remaining first half. Spash now leads 29-16. Nygaard with a second free throw. She fires, and this one around and off, tipped outside, claimed by Michaels. 9 on the clock. Tigers on the ball in backcourt. Bryant across with 6, 5, 4. Near side with 3, 2. Baseline Jacoby into Osinski. Short jumper rolls off as time expires. Osinski opened down low. The ball wouldn't roll in for her, and that ends the first half of basketball here at Stevens Point. Our coverage of Marshfield Tiger basketball this evening on WDLB, a service of the Hearing House in Marshfield, Colby, Neelsville, and Wausau. Citizen State Bank of Loyal, Granton, Neelsville, Spencer, and Marshfield, and Quality Roofing in Marshfield. Our halftime score, Stevens Point 29 and the Marshfield Tigers 16. We'll come back with our halftime program in just a moment.
Rail transport has grown every year since 1962. A leader in environmental initiatives, human resource practices, one of the safest providers of truckload services in the United States. At Rail, people are the power.
Celebrating important moments with new programs and facilities, support for our youth, and help for those most in need. Abbey Bank invests in its communities and gives back locally. With locations in Abbotsford, Appleton, Medford, Wausau, and Weston, we make banking about you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
And lifestyle. Call us to schedule your free in-office demo of game-changing hearing aid technology just released in November. Our 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee assures you won't be stuck with something you don't like. And we are an in-network provider for Security Health until December 31st. Let us help you make your house a hearing house for the holidays by calling 715-384-4700.
Marshfield and Stevens Point, Wisconsin Valley Conference girls basketball here at Spash tonight. Coverage of Tiger basketball on WDLB, a service of Felker Brothers Corporation of Marshfield, manufacturers of stainless steel products. They support all youth sports and activities. Participation in high school sports builds character and teamwork, and Felker Brothers of Marshfield supports the youth of Central Wisconsin. Our halftime score here at Stevens Point 29 and the Marshfield Tigers 16. We'll come back and check the first half scoring and stats following these messages.
High school sports coverage is brought to you by Security Health Plan. Security Health Plan, along with its many affiliated providers, wants to help people live longer, healthier lives. Security Health Plan offers high-quality coverage options for large and small businesses and for individuals and families. Go to securityhealth.org to learn more. Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. Security Health Plan is proud to support area high school athletes.
When times are good in agriculture, everyone claims to be an ag bank. At Citizens State Bank of Loyal, we are an ag bank for all times, dedicated to the long-term financial success of our farmers. That commitment to agriculture has been our way of life for 105 years. Why we are involved in a number of farm organizations, why we have expanded our ag staff, and why we will be here for this generation and the future generations on your family's farm. Citizens State Bank of Loyal, Branson, Neelsville, Spencer, and Marshfield. We finance Wisconsin's agriculture.
Quality Roofing, Marshfield, Wisconsin, is proud to include Wausau Athletic Park, Camp Randall, and Lambeau Field in their project lineup. Quality Roofing is equally proud to always support area students. Quality Roofing serves Wisconsin's commercial roofing and sheet metal needs. Contact Quality Roofing on the web at qroof.com or visit them in Marshfield's East Industrial Park.
Marshfield trailing Stevens Point here at halftime, 29-16. By the way, we do not have the JV score because the JV game's apparently being played at another location. Usually they've played the JV contests on the court on the end of the main court here, but they've not done that tonight. Instead, they have bleachers pulled into that area. And so the JV games are being played, I would assume, elsewhere here in Stevens Point, so no JV scores to report for you this evening. Our halftime stats tonight, a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most, Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. At halftime, Stevens Point led by Rachel Sullivan and Maggie Nygaard, each with 8. Leah Ernest has 6. Hallie Gregorich 4. Madison Rogan 3. Marshfield led by Maddie Michaels with 2 threes for 6. Meg Bryan has 5. Katie Osinski 3. Katie Johnson with 2. Tigers are 3 of 4 on the foul line. Spash 5 of 7. Marshfield has 10 turnovers. Spash has 4. Marshfield's biggest lead has been 2. Spash's biggest lead is the current 13-point advantage. We've had 2 ties at 2 and at 4, and 3 lead changes so far tonight. Marshfield's top rebounders are Meverden, Bryan, and Corianne Johnson, each with 3. At halftime, Marshfield leads 29-16, and our halftime stats a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most, Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. And back with more from Stevens Point following these messages.
Hefco Floral Company in Marshfield is making holiday shopping easy, festive, and fun. Deliver joyful season's greetings to family, friends, and business associates across town or across the country with fresh flowers, holiday plants, and Abdallah's candies from Hefco Floral. Shop 24/7 conveniently online at hefco.com. Open during the holidays Monday through Friday 8 to 5:30, Saturdays 8 to 3. Hefco's your florist. We help you celebrate the holidays.
The Marshfield Tiger Booster Club congratulates Tiger softball players named to the Wisconsin Valley All-Conference softball team in the spring of 2017. Congratulations to All-Conference first-team players Megan Donahue, Emily Drager, and Jenna Jacoby. Second-team players Morgan Nordbeck and Rhiannon Corazola, and honorable mention pick Melissa Roberts from the Marshfield Tiger Booster Club.
If you're one of the lucky ones, you've never had an auto accident. But if and when you do, you get flustered and exasperated dealing with the insurance company and getting estimates, not to mention trying to figure out how you're going to get around without your vehicle. Well, they can't make that process fun, but they can make it a lot easier at Art's Body Shop. Free estimates, free courtesy car, all worry-free. Pick up or drop off your rental from Penske Truck, too, at Art's Body Shop, South Central Avenue in Marshfield, just north of Wildwood Park.
Halftime here at Stevens Point. The Spash girls lead Marshfield 29-16. We will have the second game for you this evening. The Tiger boys and Stevens Point about 7:45. Prior to that, we'll have a special guest. Marshfield Tiger Athletic Hall of Famer Susie Bladel will join us to talk about her great high school athletic career at Marshfield High School. That's between the boys and girls games tonight here on WDLB. Columbus and Auburndale meeting in a non-conference boys basketball game this evening at Columbus High School, and the broadcast of that game getting started at 7 o'clock this evening. on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, and on WDLB, WOSQ.com. Also in non-conference boys basketball tonight, McDonald at Marathon, Thorpe at Whitehall, Rib Lake is at Tomahawk, Marquezan at Port Edwards, DC Everest at Eau Claire Memorial, and Medford at Chippewa Falls. Again, our halftime score is Stevens Point 29, Marshfield 16. We'll start the second half of basketball following these messages.
Are you tired of pressing buttons only to talk to a machine? Then it's time to switch to a local insurance agency. Someone you know and trust to be there for you and your family. S&S Insurance at 207 West Upham Street in Marshfield has been serving the area since 1985. S&S Insurance Services can tailor any auto, home, life, business, or farm policy to fit your life. Call S&S
V&H Automotive Service Department, located just north of Marshfield on Highway 97. At V&H Automotive of Marshfield, our highly qualified technicians are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. From oil changes to transmission replacements, we are dedicated to maintaining top-tier customer service for both new and pre-owned car buyers. Allow our staff to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. V&H Service, located just north of Marshfield on Highway 97.
WIDA, USDA, conventional, and reverse mortgage loans. Come in today or call us to set up an appointment. We'll review all your options. You get more home loan solutions with Fairway of Marshfield.
Fairway is your local mortgage specialist. Visit Fairway at 211 South Central Avenue, downtown Marshfield. Also on the internet at fairwaymarshfield.com. Or call them today, 715-384-7878, and like them on Facebook.
Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 2289, is an equal housing lender. All rights reserved. Not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without notice. Other restrictions and limitations apply. Todd Schultz, NMLS number 642092.
Tigers score on their first possession of the second half. A short jumper by Hannah Meverden. Tigers down by 11. Smash ball. Pass in the lane. Knocked down. Stolen by Jenna Jacoby. Katie Johnson across the timeline for Marshfield. Marshfield has the ball in front court to our left. Corianne Johnson. Baseline Jacoby. Poked at by Ernest, still holds it. Back out top, Meg Bryan between the circles. Now Jacoby on the near side. Inside Meverden, turns, double team, lost it, gets it back. Back out top, Bryan, near side Corianne on the arc. Picked up by Nagard. She'll go to the far side, gets bumped and fouled by Rogan. Second foul on Madison Rogan, first team foul.
Smash ball number 22, Betty Rogan.
Tigers inbounding at quarter court, trailing by 11. Meverden outside the arc, bounces back to Corianne Johnson. Near side Jacoby, picked up by Ernest. Katie Johnson goes far side again to Corianne, into Meverden, batted loose, but a foul over the back on a Spash player. And that's on Sullivan. First on Sullivan, second team foul.
First team second.
Tigers will toss it in, baseline front court. Lob out to Bryan, top of the key, back inside Meverden, open down low, lays it in. Meverden scores it. Tigers back to within 9, early second half. Stevens Point on the attack in front court to our right. Nagard out top to the foul line, stop there. It's Rogan top of the circle, comes near side to Sullivan, drives on Jacoby, cut off, Nagard baseline, pulls up without the shot. Backside to Rogan for three, it's too short, and the rebound claimed by Ernest. There's some contact between Ernest and Meverden here. Looked like Hannah had inside position, but she'll get the foul, I believe. It's on Hannah. That's 3 fouls on Hannah, and the first team foul. So Katie Osinski back in for the Tigers for Hannah Meverden. 16:40 left. Tigers trail 29-20. Spash inbounding baseline front court. Ernest lobs outside for Sullivan, going down the lane. A long lean layup is up and in. Sullivan looked like she almost walked with the basketball, but tossed one in on a kind of a long jump hook. And Spash back up by 11. They'll apply some pressure at the timeline, and Corianne almost palming the basketball. Goes inside to Osinski. Katie fires and hits a 15-footer. Osinski for 2. Tigers down by 9. Point back on the attack. Nagard out top on Corianne Johnson. Near side Gregorich. They fling it far side to Rogan outside the arc. Back near side, Nagard fakes the 3, goes down the lane, spins, leans in, one-hander up and in. Tough shot for Nagard. She's got 10. And again, Spash by 11. Corianne Johnson in backcourt facing a trap. Comes across the timeline. Near side, Katie Johnson. Bounces back outside to Corianne. Far side, Bryan. Mega's open for a three-pointer. It's off the rim, no good. Tipped high in the air and claimed by Osinski. Tigers come back outside with it. Near side, Katie Johnson. Back inside to Osinski. Far wing to Meg Bryan. Way outside the arc. High post Osinski comes back near side to Johnson. Katie in the corner has it slapped loose. It's on the floor. There's a scramble and a tie ball. Possession due Stevens Point. Stevens Point inbounding in backcourt, leading by 11. Nygaard has the basketball. She'll come across the timeline. Bounces up high to Sullivan. Looks for a cutter. Now Nygaard far side of three, short. And going out of bounds and loose on the floor, thrown back in by Sullivan, but picked up by Jacoby. And Jenna fouled on the breakout. Tigers allowed that ball to kind of roll around there. Lucky that they got the ball on the deflection. Ernest on the foul. That's 3 fouls on Leah Ernest. 3rd team foul. So Maddie Fink back in for Ernest and Maddie Michaels in for Marshfield for Katie Johnson. 15 minutes left. Tigers trail 33-22. Half-court trap by Spash. Tigers break it. Corianne Johnson near side Maddie Michaels. Double teamed in the corner. Dribbles out of it. Attack, stop, comes near side to Corianne once again. In the lane, Jacoby. Jenna on the drive inside. Short jumper partially blocked, but picked up by Corianne Johnson. Tigers have it back. Jacoby on the far wing into Osinski. Katie open, lays it in. Katie Osinski for 2. Tigers down by 9. Spash on offense. Rogan to the foul line. Drives the lane, gets inside. Scoop shot up and no good. And Meg Bryan there for the rebound, and she's tied up. And possession goes to Marshfield.
Possession going to Marshfield.
Tigers have the ball. They're within 9. 14.5 to play. Backcourt pressure by Spash. And Maddie Michaels up the near sideline. And I believe she dribbled the ball on the sideline. Call against Marshfield. That's Marshfield's 11th turnover. Spash inbounding at quarter court. Leading by 9. Nygaard comes into Fink outside the arc. Rogan swings back to Nygaard on the far side. Stands outside the arc. Now Gregorich near side to Sullivan. She'll attack on Jacoby. Back outside Nygaard for a long 2, up and in. Nygaard with the 12 tonight. Tigers again trail by 11. 4 minutes into the second half. Tigers break the press. Jacoby holds on the near wing. Inside Osinski. Katie open, lays it in again. Katie Osinski now with 9. 1 basket shy of her career high. Tigers trail by 11. Spash ball. Out top, here's a three-pointer up and missed by Fink. And the Tigers claim the rebound. Grabbed by Meg Bryant, her 5th rebound. Marshfield back on the attack, trailing by 9. Jacoby has an open baseline, drives inside, short jumper banked up and in. Jacoby's first basket. Tigers back to within 7. Stevens Point on the attack. Nygaard on the far side. Off a screen, goes baseline, leans in, one-hander up, no good, but she was pushed on the shot. And a Marshfield foul here, and Corianne Johnson's there. But it's on Osinski. That would have been 4 on Corianne. It's the first on Katie Osinski, 2nd team foul. Maggie Nygaard, 3 of 4 on the foul line tonight. Her first free throw is no good. Kaylin Kusta-Husky back in for Stevens Point for Haley Gregorich. 13:20 remaining. Tigers trail 35-28. Nygaard with a 2nd foul shot. Up and around, and it falls in. Spash by 8. Corianne Johnson behind the line will cross for Marshfield. Man-to-man defense by Spash. Jacoby on the arc. Out top, Bryan turns. Inside Osinski. Back out to Meg. A long 3 is away, and it rattles out of there. Kept alive by Michaels, but claimed by Sullivan. Stevens Point has it back. Sullivan hands back to Rogan. She'll cross the timeline on Michaels. To the near side. Goes baseline, splits a double team, and walk with the basketball. Tried to split Michaels and Corianne Johnson. Turns the ball over. Spash's 6th turnover. Hannah Everett wants to come back in, but after the officials had inbounded the ball, and now they'll allow Hannah to come in for Osinski. 12:53 left. Tigers trail 36-28. Backcourt pressure by Stevens Point. Johnson double teamed in backcourt. Lobs across the floor to Michaels. Maddie across the 10-second line. Tigers reset, near side Corianne Johnson. Jacoby trying to post down low. She takes it in the corner. Jenna off a screen to the free throw line. Goes down the lane, is stopped. Near side Corianne Johnson, three-pointer, good. 3 for Corianne Johnson, her third of the year. The Tigers back to within 5. Stevens Point on offense. Nygaard near side, out top to Rogan. Hands to Fink, top of the circle. Nygaard gets it back, fakes the 3. Starts to drive, cut off, hands back outside again, Husky. Nygaard in the corner. Brings it back to the foul line, stop there. Cross court to Rogan. Baseline Husky, pass inside to Fink. Short jumper missed, but she's fouled on the shot. Marshfield foul here. And that's on Meverton. So Hannah has 4 fouls. Third team foul. That gets Katie Osinski off the Tiger bench again. Maddie Fink, 62% on the foul line. Shooting 2, line right. And Maddie Fink's first is good. 12:04 remaining. Tigers trail 37-31. Osinski in for Meverton. Fink with 1 more free throw. And this shot is away and also good. And Stevens Point wants a timeout. Spash timeout, their second. 12:04 remaining in the second half. And our score is Stevens Point 38, Marshfield 31. Now the Tiger girls basketball team is back in action on Thursday evening as Marshfield plays at Wisconsin Rapids. Game time 7:15. Our broadcast begins Thursday at 7 p.m. Marshfield at Wisconsin Rapids girls basketball, Thursday 7 p.m. right here on AM 1450 WDLB and on WDLB-WOSQ.com. 12:04 remaining in regulation time. And Stevens Point leads Marshfield 38-31. Marshfield coming length of the floor. Stevens Point with a 1-2-1-1 full court press. Corianne Johnson back to Meg Bryan. Up the far sideline, throws the ball by Michaels, intercepted by Nygaard. Tiger turnover. Nygaard at the foul line. Was back outside again. Nygaard on the far wing to the baseline, stopped by Corianne Johnson. Top of the circle, Sullivan drives and walks with the basketball. Some changes for Stevens Point. Rachel Lummis, 5'7" junior, averaging a half point per game, is in the contest. Along with Kaylee Hintz, a 5'6" junior, averaging 1.3. Tigers break the press. Corianne Johnson hustling to front court. Near side Jacoby, an open baseline. She'll drive, lay it up and in. Easy basket for Jenna Jacoby. Tigers within 5. Stevens Point on offense. Nygaard, far side to Hintz. A three-pointer is up and in. A big 3 for Kaylee Hintz, who is now 2 of 2 on three-point baskets this year. Stevens Point by 8. Marshfield to front court. Osinski open in the lane. Layup is good. A long pass up the floor by Meg Bryan, and Katie scores, and she matches her career high with 11 points. Marshfield down by 6, 11 minutes left in regulation time. It's point ball. Pass near side to Rachel Sullivan. She takes a 3 and hits it. And that's Sullivan's second 3 of the year. So back-to-back players from Stevens Point hit only their second 3s of the year, and Spash back up by 9. Marshfield to front court. Bryan near side to Michaels. Back out top, Jacoby with it. Swings far side to Bryan. Meg for 3 is up, and it rolls out of there. Kept alive by Jacoby. Ball's on the floor now, and a tie ball called as Michaels and Lummis both grab it. And possession goes to Stevens Point. Katie Johnson comes back in for Katie Osinski with 10.5 remaining, and the Tigers trailing 44-35. Here's Nygaard to front court for Stevens Point. Off a screen to the foul line. Baseline, Hintz can't get off the 3. Nygaard gets it back. She'll drive on Johnson. Pulls up in the corner. Passes underneath. But Hintz in too deep. Was back outside once again. Hintz in the corner. Holds it. Nygaard top of the circle. Starts to drive. Stop baseline. Here's a three-pointer by Hintz. Too short. Ball on the floor. And grabbed by Marshfield. Picked up by Katie Johnson who is held coming up the floor. Stevens Point foul.
Number 10,
it's on Brooklyn Seafeld, her first. Fourth team foul. Madison Rogan back in for Rachel Lummis for Stevens Point. 9:55 left. Marshfield trails 44-35. Tigers on the attack. Michaels on the far wing, out top Jacoby. Jenna holds, far side Corianne Johnson with it. Now Bryan top of the circle, can't penetrate on Seafeld. Far side Michaels to Katie Johnson, a long two, gets caught in the backboard support, and the ball goes out of bounds to Stevens Point. Smash will bring Ernst and Hallie Pavelski back in.
Hallie Pavelski back in for smash.
He'll replace Sullivan.
Possession going to Marshfield.
And Seafeld. Hallie Gregorich back in as well, replacing Kaylee Hintz. 9:35 left. Tigers trail 44-35, and that last shot called alternate possession, so the ball goes back to Marshfield actually. Here's Katie Johnson on the near wing. Cross court to Michaels. Picked up by Rogan. Near side Jacoby outside the arc. Looks back to Johnson far side. 3-point try off the rim, no good. And Ernest high for the rebound for Stevens Point. Leads the break back down the floor. Ball tipped away from behind out of bounds and goes back to Stevens Point. Both Meverden and Osinski on the bench right now, so Jacoby really the only bigger player the Tigers have on the floor. Inbound pass comes near side to Custa Husky. Hands to Nagard, gets loose in the lane, short jumper good. 15 for Maggie Nagard, and the Tiger deficit now back to 11. They were down by 6 a few moments ago, then back-to-back threes by Stevens Point. Marshfield back to forecourt. Corianne Johnson has it knocked out of bounds in the corner by Pavelski. Halfway through the second half, Marshfield down by 11. Tigers inbound, baseline front court. Corianne Johnson near side Jacoby. Can't attack, hands back to Corianne on the wing. Bryan far side to Michaels. Maddie out near the center line, harassed by Rogan. Katie Johnson throws a cross court, nobody there. As Corianne caught one way, the ball went the other. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger basketball on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB-WOSQ.com. Tom Uthmeyer is our producer. I'm Gene Delisio at Stevens Point. Smash ball. Ernest at the foul line, back outside Rogan. To the baseline, leans in, jump shot missed, tipped around, and loose with the basket and claimed by Marshfield. Grabbed by Meg Bryan. And Meg coming up the floor, may have palmed the basketball. Violation against Marshfield, 14 Tiger turnovers. Stevens Point has 7. Spash has it back in backcourt, leading by 11. Tigers were within 6 here in the second half. Rogan now top to Ernest. Comes back near side to Nygard. Downstairs Ernest again. Goes up on Jacoby and throws it in. Ernest with her 4th basket. Tigers down by 13. Marshfield on the attack. Katie Johnson, far side Michaels, picked up by Rogan. Rogan out near the timeline harassing Maddie. Now comes near side to Jacoby. Jenna has an alley and she's fouled going to the basket. Call against Stevens Point here as Jacoby drove to the basket. Hallie Pavelski on the foul, her first. 5th team foul. Now Hannah Meverden with 4 fouls comes back in with Katie Johnson. 7:48 remaining. Tigers trail by 13. Inbound pass Jacoby near side. 15-footer up and off the rim, no good. Ernest there for the rebound for Stevens Point. Smash breaks back to front court. Ernest to the foul line, going down the lane, leans in, one-hander up and missed. And Jacoby flies in to grab the rebound. Tigers go the other way, front court to Corianne Johnson. She'll drive and gets hit as she drives to the basket. Threw the ball in the basket, but the foul on the floor. Point foul.
Panther foul number 21, Hallie Pavelski, her second.
It's on Pavelski, her 2nd foul, 6-team foul. Marshfield inbounding, baseline front court. Lob outside to Bryan. Near side to Maddie Michaels. Maddie's 3 is up and it rolls out of there, but Meverden rebounds. Back out to Jacoby. Jenna down the lane, was found going to the basket. Smash foul.
Panther foul number 21,
That's on Pavelski again, her 3rd. And the 7-team foul. Tigers go into the 1-1.
Jacoby shooting 1-1.
Jenna Jacoby, 4 of 8 on the foul line this season. Has a 1-1 line left. Jacoby's first shot is good. 7:20 remaining. Tigers trail 48-36. Sullivan back in for Stevens Point for Pavelski. Jenna Jacoby with a second free throw. And she fires. This one is no good. Ernest rebounds for Stevens Point. Comes back to front court. Nygaard on the far wing. Stopped in the circle. Gives to Rogan at the high post. Turned away there. Near side Sullivan to the dotted line. Leans in. One-hander is up and no good. Gets her own rebound in traffic and is fouled coming back out. And Miverton is right there, as is Michaels. I think it's on Maddie.
Foul on number 3, Maddie Michaels.
Second foul on Maddie Michaels. 4th team foul. Spash inbounding. Baseline front court. Lob to Sullivan at the high post. Hands back to Nygaard. Can't get down the lane on Johnson. Back to Rogan. She'll attack. Comes back outside. Ball knocked away. Picked up by Nygaard. Underneath. Pavelski wide open for the lay-in. Easy basket for Stevens Point. And Spash by 14. This is their biggest lead of the ball game. Marshfield to front court. Jacoby out top. 6:45 to play. Bryan turns on the near wing. High post to Miverton. Back outside to Meg once again. Now Jacoby inside Miverton. Down low. Goes up strong. Lays it in and fouled as well.
Miverton for 2.
Basket by Hannah Miverton. Basket is good.
Smash ball number 22.
And the foul called on Madison Rogan. Her third. 8th team foul. Hannah Miverton, line left, attempting a 3-point play. Shot is away and no good. And the rebound, Ernest in front of Jacoby. And we have a Stevens Point timeout. Spash timeout, their third of the night. 6.5 remaining in regulation time. Our score is Stevens Point 50, Marshfield 38. Back with more basketball in just a moment.
Big day. Your first board meeting as the new CEO. Yay.
Good luck. You're gonna fail.
You've got this.
You couldn't just let it go, could you? Always the hero.
Hey, I'm security. I'd do the same for you.
Well, you wouldn't have to, since I worry about everything that would never happen to me.
Every team needs the right connection to succeed. The same thing applies to your home or business. If something doesn't seem quite right, don't play amateur repair person. Contact Total Electric Service of Marshfield at 384-3311. Total Electric offers a 24-hour emergency service for residential, commercial, farm, industrial jobs. Total Electric Service, the name says it all. Total service for all of your electric contracting needs. 384-3311.
Tigers trail by 12, 6.5 left in regulation time. Don't forget, we will have Tiger boys basketball this evening. Marshfield and Stevens Point following Tiger girls, and Susie Bladel talking about her Hall of Fame career between the girls and boys games tonight. Point basketball in front court to our right. They lead by 12. Rogan top of the key on Michaels, near side to Ernest. Hands to Sullivan outside the arc. They swing far side again to Gregorich. Sullivan can't get down the lane, now leans in. Left-hander partially blocked by Miverton, out of bounds. Hannah taking a chance there with her 4 personal fouls, but knocked the ball over the end line, out of bounds. Spash inbounding, baseline front court. Ernest lobs to Sullivan at the high post. Baseline to Pavelski, down low. Ernest goes to the basket and lays it in. Ernest with 10. Spash by 14. Corianne Johnson moves across the timeline for Marshfield. Meg Bryan near side wants a screen from Miverton. Now hands outside to Hannah. Near side, Corianne gets it back. Stands outside the arc. Miverton baseline turns right back to Corianne on the near wing. Again gets the screen. Tipped out of bounds though by Gregorich. Tigers retain possession. And they'll inbound a quarter court with 5:45 left. Stevens Point leads by 14. Bryan will throw into Miverton. Top of the key. Michaels back out front. Bryan gets it back on the near side, turns on Nygaard. Jacoby top of the circle. Picked up by Ernest. Michaels now gets a screen from Jacoby. Tigers trying to penetrate on the inside and can't get in that lane area. There's Bryan on the near side once again. Baseline, Corianne Johnson into Jacoby down low, goes up and lays it in. Jacoby from Johnson. And the Tigers down by a dozen with 5:15 to play. Spash on offense, Nagard top of the circle. Backs it out. On top of the key, Rogan holds it. Far side, Gregrich, the baseline, stopped by Bryan. Back outside, Ernest, 5 minutes to play, Spash by a dozen. Ernest far side will pull it back out again. Rogan on the near wing. Cross court hits Sullivan. Lots of outside passing here. Sullivan in the lane. Cross court, here's Gregrich, a three-point try, no good. Long rebound, though, tracked down by Sullivan. Now she'll go back to the basket, has it knocked loose in traffic, and a foul called on Marshfield. That's on Jenna Jacoby. Second on Jenna. Only the 5th team foul, so Stevens Point not shooting. Katie Osinski back in for Marshfield for Hannah Meverden. 4:40 remaining. Tigers trail 52-40. Spash inbounding baseline front court. Ernest will look near side to Gregrich. Back out top, Rogan swings far side to Sullivan. Stopped at the high post. Baseline, Ernest fires a long 2 up and it rattles out of there. Corianne Johnson flies in for the rebound, then lost it. Taken away again by Sullivan. Spash has it back. Gregrich on the far side. Pass back out top, Sullivan. Down the lane, stopped. Ernest at the high post, shut down by Osinski. Ernest gets it back, top of the circle. Passes downstairs, Sullivan goes up strong and missed the shot. Fight for the rebound, loose on the floor, and a foul called here. And a push, I think, on Corianne Johnson, fighting for the rebound. That's 4 on Corianne. 6th team foul. Katie Johnson reporting back in for Marshfield, and Corianne will leave. 4:08 left. And Marshfield trailing 52-40. Spash inbounding baseline front court. Lob outside to Sullivan. Hands back out top to Nagard. Far side, Rogan from the corner, a three-point try, no good. Ball tipped around and claimed by Meg Bryan. 7 rebounds for Meg tonight. 3:55 to play, Spash by a dozen. Marshfield on the attack. Katie Johnson bouncing inside. The pass knocked down, but Katie gets it back on the deflection. Back outside to Jacoby. Knocked loose, stolen by Ernest. Pass ahead to Nagard. She'll drive on Bryan, lay it up and in. Nagard scores off the turnover. She's got 17. Tigers down by 14. And an inbound pass steal by Ernest, and she's fouled going back to the basket. Tigers cough up the inbound pass, and Bryan fouls on the play. 3 fouls on Meg, 7-team foul. And Leah Ernest back at the foul line shooting 2. First by Ernest up and no good. Meverden, Corianne Johnson, and Kane come in for Osinski, Katie Johnson, and Jacoby. 3.5 remaining. Tigers trail 54-40. Leah Ernest 71% on the foul line. Second free throw is good. She's got 11 tonight. Marshfield down by 15. This is Stevens Point's biggest lead. Bryan comes to front court to Sophie Kane. Hands back outside to Bryan once again. Michaels outside the arc. Baseline to Corianne Johnson. Kane swings near side to Bryan. Meg outside the arc. Far side, Corianne Johnson holds it. Inside, Meverden. Down low, goes up and throws it in. Hannah Meverden with 8, all here in the second half. Tigers down by 13. 3 minutes left in regulation time. Spash ball, Ernest near side to Nagard. Can attack. Gregrich. Far side hits Sullivan outside the arc. Spash killing some time here. They lead by 13 with 2:50 left. Now Sullivan from the corner. A three-point try is short. And the rebound claimed by Maddie Michaels. Tigers on the run out. Bryan has no advantage. Holds on the near wing. Hits Kane outside the arc. Right back to Bryan. Swings far side to Michaels. Corianne Johnson far corner. Out top again to Kane. Bryan turns in the near corner. Launches a three-pointer offline. Long rebound to Nagard. Ball stripped loose though. Stolen by Michaels. And Maddie back to the basket. Laced up and missed it but was fouled. Maddie Michaels taking the ball away from Nagard. Went back to the basket and drew some contact.
After foul on Maddie Rogan.
Rogan on the foul. That's her 4th foul. The 9th team foul. Maddie Michaels 0 of 1 on the foul line this year. Line left shooting 2. Her first try is good. 2:20 remaining. Tigers trail 55-43. Jenna Jacoby back in for Meg Bryan. Maddie now with a career-high 7 points in this ballgame. And she'll get one more foul shot. It is away and good. So Michaels with 8. Tigers down by 11, 2:20 to play. Stevens Point to forecourt. Gregorich far wing, pass downstairs to Sullivan. Out to Ernest to the foul line, can't drive. Rogan back to Sullivan on the wing. She'll attack in the lane, lean in, off balance shot high off the glass, no good. And Meverden snares the rebound for Marshfield, her 5th. Corianne Johnson back to front court. Lob for Jacoby near corner, into Kane. Back outside again to Johnson. Jacoby to the baseline, bumped and fouled by Ernest. And that's 4 fouls on Leah Ernest, also the 10th team foul.
Leah Ernest.
Meg Bryan will come back in for the Tigers. First in Jacoby. 1 of 2 on the foul line tonight. Will get 2 free throws, line left. And Jenna's first try is away, and it rolls around and falls off. Here's Bryan for Sophie Kane. 1:55 left. Tigers trail 55-44. One more foul shot for Jenna Jacoby. Shot is away and good. And Marshfield wants a timeout here. Tigers use their 3rd timeout. 1:55 remaining in regulation time. Our score is Stevens Point 55, Marshfield 45, and more basketball in just a moment.
If you've been rushing around looking for that perfect gift.
For almost 50 years, Abbey Bank has been providing financial services to local families and businesses. What makes us different? Our partnership with the communities we serve, helping families grow, helping business grow, and celebrating important moments. With new programs and facilities, support for our youth, and help for those most in need. Abbey Bank invests in its communities and gives back locally. With locations in Abbotsford, Appleton, Medford, Wausau, and Weston, we make banking about you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Known every year since 1962, a leader in environmental initiatives, human resource practices, one of the safest providers of truckload services in the United States. At Rail, people are the power of red. We focus on delivering customer satisfaction, providing flawless transportation service, and maintaining excellent safety standards. If you'd like to be the power of red, call Rail Transport 715-591-3795, an equal opportunity affirmative action employer.
1:55 left. Marshfield down by 10. And Stevens Point coming length of the floor. Ernest will throw in. Hits Nygaard in backcourt. Right back to Ernest. And she'll come across the timeline. Baseline to Sullivan. Back outside Nygaard. And Spash may try to kill some time here. Clock down to 1:45 left. Ernest now in the lane. Drives. Scoop shot. Rolls in. Nice underhand scoop shot by Leah Ernest. Spash by 12 with 1:35 left. Bryan back across the timeline for Stevens Point. Michaels outside the arc. Baseline, Corianne Johnson takes the baseline. Comes back out to Jacoby. Meverden high post, turns and fires. Off the back of the rim, no good. Pulled in by Ernest. Long front court feed, Rogan. She's behind the defense, and she'll drive and lay it in. Rogan scores. Stevens Point by 14. 1:10 left. Meverden backcourt hits Michaels. Maddie moves into forecourt. Meverden on the return pass down low, goes up off the glass and misses it. Fights for the rebound. It's on the floor. Ernest has it back for Stevens Point. Find them into play. Stevens Point by 14. Rogan in backcourt. Pass ahead is stolen by Jacoby. Jenna goes back 3-on-1, drives and lays it in. And now a timeout for Marshfield. Marshfield will use a timeout. Their 4th. 49 seconds remaining in regulation time. And Marshfield trails 59-47. Jenna Jacoby with 10 points tonight in double figures for the 3rd time this year. Tiger basketball on WDLB this evening. A service of Hefco Floral Company, the Marshfield Tiger Booster Club, and Arts Body Shop in Marshfield. Tigers down by 12 with 49 seconds remaining in regulation time, hanging in there against this very strong Stevens Point Ball Club. Point will inbound, baseline backcourt. Once again will be joined by Tiger Hall of Famer Susie Bladel between ball games, and come back here for the boys game between Marshfield and Stevens Point. Ernest inbounding in backcourt, moving along the baseline. Still moving, now comes into Rogan. Lobs ahead to Gregorich. She has a one-on-one, but she'll hold on the near side. Pass inside now to Nygaard, comes back out with it. 40 seconds left. Cross-court pass, though, stolen by Jacoby. Up ahead to Corianne Johnson. Lead from Maddie Michaels. Maddie drives inside, has her shot partially blocked by Rogan. Comes back out to Ernest. With 30 seconds left, Ernest to forecourt. And she'll hold, come outside to Rogan once again. Double team to the timeline and a reach-in foul on Marshfield. That's on Maddie Michaels. Third on Maddie. 8th team foul. Madison Rogan on the foul line, where she is 1 of 1 tonight. Held to only 5 points this evening. And her free throw is good. 23 seconds left. Tigers trail 60-47. Rogan's second foul shot is also good. Stevens Point by 14, 23 seconds left. They're still pressing. Michaels in backcourt up the near sideline, through traffic, across the timeline, ahead to Jacoby. Back outside, Bryan, three-pointer by Meg is away and missed. And Ernest flies in to grab the rebound, knocked loose out of bounds. And a Tiger foul with 11 seconds to play. That's on Maddie Michaels as well. 4th foul on Maddie. 9th team foul, so Leah Ernest, 1 of 2 on the foul line tonight, will shoot a 1-and-1. Ernest averaging 11 rebounds a game and probably close to that tonight. Her first foul shot here is good. 11 seconds to play. Stevens Point lead 62-47. This matches their biggest lead. Second foul shot by Ernest is offline, pulled in by Corianne Johnson. Tigers to front court, 9 seconds left. Corianne on the far side gives to Bryan, 5 seconds remaining. Jacoby in the circle, goes down the lane, stop, ball knocked loose by Ernest, and the horn will blow, and Stevens Point stays unbeaten with a 15-point win in this ball game this evening. Marshfield Tiger basketball tonight on WDLB, a service of Arts Body Shop in Marshfield. If you're involved in a collision, take your vehicle to Arts Body Shop, 1702 Roddus Avenue in Marshfield. And back to check the post-game stats in this ball game in just a moment.
Happy Masonville Dairy, family-owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, nasonvilledairy.com. V&H Automotive Service Department, located just north of Marshfield on Highway 97. At V&H Automotive of Marshfield, our highly qualified technicians are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. From oil changes to transmission replacements, we are dedicated to maintaining top-tier customer service for both new and pre-owned car buyers. Allow our staff to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. V&H Service, located just north of Marshfield on Highway 97.
To delicious.
Business insurance. If you own a business, you need coverage. Talk to the experts at Schwartz Insurance. Over 90 years experience and 3 generations of family ownership. Let Schwartz manage your business insurance program. Schwartz Insurance. Be sure. Check out Schwartz at BeSureOnline.com. That's BeSureOnline.com. Or call 387-1130. Schwartz Insurance. Be sure.
Stevens Point wins this ball game over Marshfield, 62-47. Our post-game stats, a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most. Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. Stevens Point tonight led by Maggie Negard with 17 points, Leah Ernest with 14, Rachel Sullivan 13, Madison Rogan 7, Kaylee Hintz a 3-point basket for 3, Maddie Fink a basket for 2. Kaylin Kusta-Husky, Jenna Rohansky, Haley Pavelski, Rachel Lummis, and Brooklyn Seafelt did not score. For Marshfield, Katie Osinski matches her career high with 11 points on 5 baskets, 1 of 2 on the foul line. Jenna Jacoby, 10 points, 4 baskets, 2 of 4 on free throws. Maddie Michaels, a career high 8 points on 2 threes and 2 of 2 on the foul line. Meg Bryan, 3 baskets, 1 of those a 3, or 2 baskets, 1 of 3 for 5. Hannah Meverden, 4 baskets for 8. Hannah missed a foul shot. Corianne Johnson, a three-point basket for 3. Katie Johnson, 2 of 2 on the foul line for 2. Desiree Weisenberger and Sophie Kane did not score. Tigers on the foul line, 7 of 11, Point 12 of 16. Marshfield 21 turnovers, Stevens Point with 9. Stevens Point led at halftime, 29-16. Outscored Marshfield in the second half, 33-31. Marshfield's biggest lead was 2. Point's biggest lead was 15. We had 2 ties at 2 and at 4, and 3 lead changes. Meg Bryan had 7 rebounds tonight. Corianne Johnson was 6. Hannah Meverden 5. Katie Osinski and Jenna Jacoby each with 3. Maddie Michaels with 3. Katie Johnson with 2 rebounds in this ball game. Stevens Point gets the win. They're now 8-0, 2-0 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. Marshfield 1-3 overall, 0-1 in conference play. Once again, the Tiger boys and Stevens Point will meet momentarily here at Stevens Point. Our broadcast begins following a brief intermission here on WDLB. So please stay with us. We're going to talk with Marshfield Tiger Athletic Hall of Famer Susie Bladel about her Tiger career during her intermission program, and then back with Marshfield Tiger boys basketball right here on AM 1450 WDLB. Again, our final girls score this evening, Stevens Point 62 and the Marshfield Tigers 47.
You always get more at Baltus.
The Baltus Tire and Lube location across from the post office in Marshfield has many brands of tires at special prices right now. Be ready for winter driving with new tires. While you're there, get a free car wash with any oil change at Baltus across from the post office in Marshfield.
You always get more at Baltus.
Whether the goal is to heat a room, entertain guests, or simply unwind and let the imagination run wild, nothing gives fire more style than a Heat and Glow fireplace. With a long-standing reputation for innovation and design, Heat and Glow offers the broadest spectrum of hearth products available today. Find the perfect fireplace stove or insert to complement your distinct style at fireplaces.com.
See the entire line of Heat and Glow options today at House of Heating, North Central Avenue in Marshfield.
This time of year, the roads aren't exactly your truck's friend. So when your truck parts start to fall apart, come to V&H for what you need. At V&H, our parts department is your one-stop shop for all things heavy truck. We've got a large inventory of all makes truck parts from more than 300 sources that helps you drive away in confidence. So come on in and see our parts department today. V&H, the driving force in heavy trucks and equipment.
At 1505 South Central Avenue, Marshfield, or vhtrucks.com.
Well, you hope you're enjoying Marshfield Tiger basketball this evening here on AM 1450 WDLB and WDLB-WOSQ.com. We're going to spend some time visiting with former Marshfield Tiger sports standout Susie Bladel, who excelled in tennis and basketball at Marshfield High School and was inducted into the Marshfield Tiger Athletic Hall of Fame in 2014.
It was just an amazing evening. I didn't think I'd be as emotional as I am, but coming back and seeing the coaches, just knowing what my experiences in Marshfield meant to me and how it really helped me develop, my foundation for how I would proceed with the rest of my life, and it was just an incredible evening.
Tell us about your early athletic experiences in Marshfield, perhaps even before you got to Marshfield High School.
Well, I initially just started out by, picking up games with my neighborhood friends, basketball, baseball, after supper, whatever we could do. I remember taking some basketball camps down at the Purdy building with Coach Rozak. I didn't know anybody else there because they were all mostly from the parochial schools, but I went every day and learned some good ball handling drills from him and some very good basketball. Softball, first started playing in team level at about the age of 9 with the rec department, and that's when I first met Mr. Kapleen. I think they were kind of surprised at this little 60-pound skinny little girl who could somehow heave the ball pretty well from shortstop to first base, and probably the shirt went down to my ankles, but it was a great experience. trying to think of when I started tennis. Probably not, I took a few lessons through the rec department as a young age, but really started being serious about it in 7th grade. Mr. Swenson coached the junior high team, and he had a lot to do with how I developed as a player early on. I took some lessons from him and some other people in the community, got me involved in tournaments, and that really helped me develop my skills and prepare me for high school.
We've talked to a lot of women who have been named to this Hall of Fame who came through Marshfield High School late 70s, early 80s, 7, 8, 9 years before you did, and they talked about being more or less pioneers in terms of girls athletes in high school. It seems like you were kind of beyond that. You didn't see too much of that. It was pretty much in place when you came through school. Is that correct?
Yes, there were programs all the way. Even I remember at Washington School playing in a basketball league on Saturday mornings. So there were some opportunities for girls at a young age. Nowhere near like it is now, where they have the club teams at a very young age and they travel throughout the state. But I think there were already those opportunities in place when I started.
Let's talk about your sports individually. First of all, tennis, and it seems like you excelled in this pretty early. It seems like you got into it almost a bit on the late side, but had good success early. How did you take to the game of tennis so quickly?
Well, my older sisters played, which helped because I could go out and play with them. I often went and just hit against the backboard and tried to get consistent. Like I said, I was a pretty active child, so whenever I had downtime, I was never sitting. I would either be shooting basketballs in the driveway or hitting against the backboard or finding somebody to play with. I was fortunate. Somehow my parents found the means to help me take private lessons. I did go to tennis camps in the summer once a year at Bachman Lang down in Milwaukee area. So they really helped me develop my skills by providing me with the experiences that I needed.
And you walked into a very, very good tennis program. Coach Kaler and Coach Swenson have built a real strong program at that era. What was it like for a young lady, perhaps 14 years old, a high school freshman, to walk into a program that was that successful?
It was amazing. I mean, you kind of just expected of us that we would win, so we would just go out there and do our thing. Coach Kaler had a way of coaching without really coaching. Like, he would let us do what we needed on the court, but then come out and then maybe the next practice he would say, okay, these are the things I saw that we need to work on. So he knew that we were very competitive, and he kind of let us stew in our own thoughts after a loss, or after maybe we played not the greatest, but then the next day he would say, okay, let's work on these skills. And I think that mode of coaching and works very well with girls in general, instead of doing the pounding on what you didn't do correctly right away, and it was successful for us as a team.
And of course, you had some great success in that tennis program. When you look back on your tennis career, what kind of things do you think about? Any highlights you have in tennis?
I remember winning my first tennis tournament ever in 7th grade with my doubles partner, Teresa Reyes, and she was actually my doubles partner in high school, so we knew each other very well by that time. But we were at a country club in Stevens Point. We had shorts and the t-shirts on. We weren't expected to do anything, but we ended up winning that tournament, and it was very fun. I still have my trophy from that tournament. Also, playing at state my senior year was very memorable. We won our first match and lost to Homestead, I believe, our second match, and they ended up going very far in the tournament. Our team as a total took 7th in state that year. And really, I loved going down to the Menominee Falls tournament with Mr. Kaler every year. Sometimes we would stay with players from Menominee Falls, and we'd get to meet other people. Sometimes he'd take us on other trips, and it was just a very nice experience as a team. It was before the season started, so we got to build some relationships among the players and with Coach Kaler before the season even started.
Let's switch gears to basketball here. Tell us about some of your early basketball memories.
really very early on, it was really going to the camps that Mr. Rozak taught. And learning a lot, very important about ball handling. I mean, I would do drills in the winter in my basement, and I was out in the winter in the driveway shooting baskets. Then in junior high, from 7th grade to 9th grade, I remember freshman year we had Mr. Greenwood as a coach, and he was a good coach, but he made us work hard. He made us run if we, I just remember running a lot if we didn't do something right. But he instilled in us, he knew what we were capable of, and he made sure that we performed up to those standards, which was good. It prepared us for high school.
And you got to play high school ball rather early. I think as your sophomore, you came up and played on the varsity. Tell us about that experience of going up so early and playing high school basketball for the Tigers.
Well, it's definitely a learning curve there. Coming up against, I wasn't very tall, so a lot of the people that guarded me or I guarded were taller than me, but thankfully I was quick too, so I think that helped. Unfortunately, we were prepared to have a fairly decent year my sophomore year, but some of the players had gotten caught with alcohol, so there were several players, especially upperclassmen, that had to leave the team. So we were a very young team, and I just remember trying to build from that, which was very hard at first. My worst memory my sophomore year was losing to DC Everest. I believe the score was something like 80-12, and that was very frustrating. They ended up winning state that year, and so in the program we were listed as one of those losses, so that was kind of humorous. And we hoped that as seniors we could beat them because we had a very good team our senior year, and I think we lost to them in overtime one game and by 1 or 2 points the second time we played them. So not quite ever get that win, but we came close.
Marshfield Susie Bladel inducted into the Marshfield Tiger Athletic Hall of Fame in 2014. We'll return to Stevens Point and more Marshfield Tiger basketball in just a moment.
Hi, this is Karen wishing you a most joyous Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us at First Choice Credit Union in Marshfield. When it comes to financial decisions, it's good to know that First Choice Credit Union in Marshfield has all the services needed in today's fast-paced economy. Happy holidays, everyone.
Hi, this is Shay. All of us at First Choice Credit Union in Marshfield wish you a safe Christmas and a most prosperous New Year. When it comes to financial decisions, First Choice Credit Union in Marshfield has all the financial services needed in today's fast-paced economy. Happy holidays, everyone.
The Tiger Hoops Club thanks the Marshfield community. Your support helps to offset tournament fees and travel expenses for basketball travel teams grades 4 through 8. Go to TigerHoopsClub.com to see information on upcoming events, fundraisers, team photos, and upcoming tournaments. Thanks to Tiger Hoops Club sponsors including Marshfield Clinic, Midstate Truck Service, Marshfield Firefighters, Forward Financial Bank, Marshfield Professional Police Association, V&H Truck, and WDLB WOSQ Radio. Come on out to high school basketball games and support the Marshfield Tiger basketball teams. Roll Tigers. Roll Tigers. Roll Tigers.
Get outfitted this holiday season with Victory Apparel in Marshfield.
Focus on the fundamentals. We've gone over time and time again.
Whether it's to show your school spirit, rec department leagues, even corporate wear, Victory Apparel has the selection. New holiday high school and NCAA apparel are in stock. All 2017 spring and summer styles at closeout prices. Gift certificates available too.
All right! Let's go!
Shop for the high school or NCAA fan on your holiday list at Victory Apparel across from Mittens, downtown Marshfield.
Getting set for boys basketball here on WDLB. Marshfield and Stevens Point. Joey Hauser will not play in this contest for Spash. Hauser not only not in uniform, but he's standing along the baseline in street clothes with one of those little cart cycles where you put your knee up on a pad and kind of stroll around, push yourself around that way, and has his left foot in a bandage and maybe a soft cast. So no Joey Hauser tonight. And so the Stevens Point Ball Club will rely heavily on senior Drew Blair, their sharpshooting swingman who's averaging 33 points per game, has hit 30 points or more in all 3 Stevens Point ball games this year. Spash will come into this ball game 2-1, Marshfield 3-2. as we prepare for this one between Marshfield and Stevens Point. Once again, the Tigers lost the girls contest moments ago to Stevens Point 62-47. Katie Osinski leading Marshfield in scoring with 11 points, and Jenna Jacoby added 10. Halftime at Columbus High School, the Columbus boys basketball team leading Auburndale 40-18. Big lead for the Columbus Dons at halftime of that ball game, as Columbus has the edge. That game being broadcast this evening on Sports Radio 92.3 FM WOSQ. Getting set for Marshfield and Stevens Point boys basketball here at Stevens Point High School this evening. We'll come back to introduce the starting lineups following these messages.
Are you tired of pressing buttons only to talk to a machine? Then it's time to switch to a local insurance agency. Someone you know and trust to be there for you and your family. S&S Insurance at 207 West Upham Street in Marshfield has been serving the area since 1985. S&S Insurance Services can tailor any auto, home, life, business, or farm policy to fit your life. Call S&S Insurance for a free quote today at 715-387-3477 or stop by and visit one of their experienced agents at 207 West Upham Street in Marshfield.
Paget Equipment Company, a division of JBL International, specializing in stainless steel fabrication worldwide, and a proud backer of Marshfield area youth programs and activities. The folks at Paget Equipment support healthy competition. It helps prepare youth for life, teaching them important concepts like teamwork and fair play. Important in athletics, important in business, important in life. Paget Equipment, a strong backer of the youth of Marshfield, urging you to get involved with school-related activities.
Marshfield and Stevens Point tonight. High school boys basketball. Stevens Point, defending state champions, 3-time defending state champions in Division I basketball, but perhaps not as strong this year as they've been in past years, especially with Joey Hauser not available due to a foot injury. Hauser, with only one game under his belt this year, scored 35 in a win against Rhinelander, has scored 1,161 points in his high school career. He'll play his college basketball next season at Marquette, but will not play in this one this evening for the Stevens Point Panthers. Now let's take a look at the starting lineups in this ball game. A service of Rail Transport of Marshfield. Visit rail.jobs to join the winning rail team. Experience the power of red with Rail Transport of Marshfield. For Stevens Point starting tonight in the post, Andrew Erdman, 6'2 senior. He's averaging 8.3 points per game. The forwards, Brennan Mueller, 6'2 senior, averaging 4 points per game, and Drew Blair, 6'3 senior, averaging 33 points per game. The guards are Drew Cullen, 6'1 senior, averaging 6.7, and Max Hoffmeister, 6 foot senior, averaging 2.3 points per game. Spash coached by Scott Anderson. Stevens Point 2-1 overall, 0-0 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. For the Marshfield Tigers at center, Seth Anderson, 6'5 senior, averaging 15.2 points per game. The forwards, Isaac Meverden, 6'4 sophomore, averaging 5 points per game, and Reed Miller, 6'6 junior, averaging 14.4. The guards are Brant Bowman, 5'10 junior, averaging 9 points per game, and Anthony Postolek, 6'1 sophomore, averaging 6.6 points per game. Tigers coached by Scott Scheuer, assisted by Ryan Larson and Sean Lee. Tigers are 3-2 overall and 0-0 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. Marshfield and Stevens Point, Wisconsin Valley Conference boys basketball this evening here at Spash. Tigers in black, Stevens Point in white.
And Jeff Wells. Spash would like to thank Ascension for providing the trainer for tonight's contest, Miss Linda Heller.
Reed Miller and Andrew Erdman on the center jump to begin play. See who guards Drew Blair tonight. Might be Anderson. If it's Anderson, he's been stuck with some great ball players as a defensive assignment all year long. Here's the opening tip. And goes to Marshfield. Tigers in front court to our right. Postolek out top, man-to-man defense by Point. Bowman on the near wing. Back out front, Anderson. Picked up by Erdman. Gives to Bowman, drives on Cullen, gets inside. Flings it back outside to Miller. Near side, Anderson to the baseline. Gets inside, layup is good. Seth Anderson for 2. Tigers lead 2-0. Stevens Point ball in front court to our left. Erdman on the far wing. Out top hits Mueller. Cullen on the near side. Now Blair top of the circle, picked up by Meverton. He'll drive, foul line jumper away and no good. And Reed Miller there with a one-handed rebound. Up ahead to Bowman. Brandt on the near wing. Baseline to Anderson. Seth in the corner, turns on Erdman, bounces downstairs to Bowman. Has no shot, comes back outside again. Bad pass stolen away by Cullen. He has a run out, he'll drive, lay it up and in. Steal and basket for Drew Cullen, ties the ball game at 2. Marshfield has it back, Postolek harassed in backcourt by Hoffmeister. He'll cross the timeline. Postolek comes near side to Anderson. To the baseline, leans in off the glass and missed the shot, tipped around and claimed by Blair. Point back to forecourt. Blair on Meverton. Baseline hits Hoffmeister. Three-point try, no good. And Reed Miller there to collect the rebound for Marshfield. Pass ahead to Postolek. Front court to Meverton on the arc. Isaac can't drive. Back outside to Miller. Here's Bowman on the near side. Picked up by Cullen. Brandt back out top of the key. Starts to penetrate. Cut off. Meverton on the arc. Man-to-man defense by Spash. Anderson up high. Holds the ball. Gives back to Bowman. Cullen won't let him down that lane. Here's Miller deep in the near corner. Reed can attack against Anderson on the cut in the lane. Swings it back out in the corner. Meverton fires from the arc and hits it. That's a 3. They'll give Meverton a 3. His 3rd of the year. Tigers go up by 3. You know about that one, but apparently he was just behind the arc. Now Spash back to front court. Erdman outside the arc on the near wing. Back out top, Hoffmeister swings to Mueller on the far side. Looking for Blair on the cut, not free. Outside, a long 3 up and in by Erdman. Andrew Erdman now 7 of 13 on threes this year. And we're tied at 5. Marshfield back down the floor. Here's Bowman outside the arc. Pass in the corner, stolen by Cullen. Tiger turnover. Cullen back across the 10-second line for Stevens Point. Hands back on the far wing to Mueller. Hoffmeister backs it out top of the circle. Now Blair takes it on the near side, drives baseline, leans in, shoots and scores. Blair over Anderson for 2. And Stevens Point has its first lead at 7-5. We've played 3 minutes. Tigers back down the floor. Miller outside the arc. Comes near side to Postolek. Postolek on the drive, cut off. Anderson baseline to Bowman. Turns in the corner. Gives back to Anderson for a 3-point try. Good. Seth Anderson for 3, his 5th of the year. And the Tigers go back up by 1. Boy, if Seth had a reliable 3-point shot, he would be an amazing player. Point ball, Blair in the corner, turns on Meverton, backs it in, leans in, cross-court feed comes to Hoffmeister. Goes back outside again. Mueller with it. Top of the key, stop there, hands back to Cullen. Man-to-man defense by Marshfield. Cullen can't break down Bowman. Goes back outside to Hoffmeister. Now Drew Blair on the far side off a screen, but Meverton rubs through and grabs him once again. Gets a screen again. Drives the lane, leans in. Short jumper, no good, but knocked down on the play. And a Tiger foul.
Tiger foul, number 4.
It's on Reed Miller.
Reed Miller, his first.
First on Reed. First team
Blair
foul.
Shooting 2.
Drew Blair only shooting 95% on the foul line. Gets 2 free throws, line left. First attempt is short. How about that? 14:07 left, first half. Tigers lead 8-7. Blair with a second free throw. And this shot is away and it rattles out. He missed 2 in a row. Reed Miller rebounds. Tigers come to forecourt leading by 1. Postolek to the top of the key. Far side Miller deep in the far corner. Out top Anderson once again. Seth comes back near side to Postolek. Anthony starts to drive, cut off by Hoffmeister. Picks up his dribble. Out top Miller, 3-point try up and off the back of the rim, no good. And Cullen lost the rebound to Meverton, then takes it back away again. Cullen has it back, Stevens Point to front court. Blair on the far wing. Picked up by Miverton. Goes baseline, and I think Isaac may have held him in that corner. Marshfield foul here. Isaac Miverton commits the foul, his first. Second team foul. Spash inbounding at quarter court. Drew Blair out front, swings it back near side again to Brennan Mueller. Drew Cullen far side. Now Erdman outside the arc. Picked up by Anderson. Hoffmeister top of the key, hands back to Blair. Fakes the three, drives, pulls up a long two, is up and in. Drew Blair off balance with a long two. And Stevens Point goes back up by one. Marshfield ball, Postolick near the center line, near side to Anderson. To the baseline, gets inside, lays it up and missed it, but was held going to the basket. Seth throwing a quick first move. Andrew Erdman on the foul, his first team foul. Tigers inbound. Here's a lob up for Anderson in the lane. Backs it in and then drops it. But kicks it back outside to Bowman. Downstairs Miverton. Turns, goes up with one hand, and throws it in off balance and is fouled as well. Tough shot for Isaac Miverton. Basket good. Foul on Brennan Mueller, his first. Second team foul.
Miverton shooting one.
Miverton foul line right, attempting a three-point play. Marshfield back up by one. And the free throw by Isaac is around and off and pulled in by Blair. Tigers by one, 12:55 left first half. Point ball, Blair comes out top to Erdman. Hoffmeister on the far wing. Cut off, hands back to Blair out front. He'll drive on Miverton, stopped. Pulls it back out, needs some help, and finds Hoffmeister near the timeline. Near side, here's Erdman, fakes the three, drives on Anderson, cut off. Tight defense by Marshfield here. Cullen on the far wing, back in the corner, hits Mueller. Now Blair on the far side, picked up by Miverton. Cullen fakes a long three, gives to Hoffmeister. Back on the far side, Cullen again, lobs downstairs to Blair. Backs in on Miverton. Comes back outside again, here's a three by Erdman away, and good. Erdman wide open for a three on the kick out. And Stevens Point goes back up by two. We've had 5 lead changes tonight. 12 minutes left in the first half. Marshfield basketball. Postolick near side Miller turns, fires a three-pointer. Off the rim, no good. Tipped high in the air and claimed by Miverton. On the cut to Bowman, he's fouled going to the basket. Tough offensive rebound there for Isaac Miverton. And Bowman fouled as he cuts to the basket. It's on Max Hoffmeister, his first. Third team foul. Tigers inbound baseline front court. Lob for Anderson, high post. Swings back out in the corner. A three from Miverton is too short and pulled in by Cullen. Point has the ball, leading by 2. Drew Blair across the line, stopped out top by Miverton. Erdman on the far wing. Is back outside again to Mueller. Off a screen. Starts to attack in the lane, leans in, scoop shot good, and fouled as well. Tough move for Brennan Mueller.
For 2.
Basket good. And the foul on Brant Bowman. First on Brant, third team foul. Tigers will bring in Tommy Olson, 6'2" junior, averaging 3 points per game, replacing Anthony Postolick. Brennan Mueller on the foul line to our left, attempting a three-point play. Mueller set, the free throw is up and in. And a 5-point lead for Stevens Point, their biggest. 11:30 left in the first half. Marshfield on the attack. Pass to the near sideline, broken up and knocked out of bounds by Drew Blair. Tigers retain possession. They'll inbound baseline or sideline front court. Bowman takes the ball back across the timeline on Cullen. Near side, Anderson holds it. Back out front, Olson. Bowman on the far wing. Can attack on Cullen. Tries again, hands off to Olson. Out top, Anderson. Picked up by Erdman. Starts to penetrate. Pulls up, baseline Miverton off a screen. Kicks it back outside, double team in the corner, and lobs past Anderson out of bounds. Tigers caught in a tough spot in the corner. They commit their third turnover. We played 7 minutes, and Stevens Point leads 15-10. Stevens Point back on the attack, and Drew Cullen across the 10-second line. It's Hoffmeister, far side to Blair. Drives on Meverton in the lane. Pull up from 15 away and no good. Fight for the rebound. Blair has it back up and no good. Tipped outside again. Claimed by Miller. Up ahead to Bowman. And Brand has a breakout. He'll drive, lay it up and in. Bowman scores on the run out. Tigers back to within 3. Here's Stevens Point back up the floor. Drew Blair out top. Stop top of the key. Far side. Here's a three-pointer by Mueller. Up and in. Brennan Mueller for 3, only his second of the year. And a 6-point lead for Stevens Point. Now Marshfield back on the attack. Anderson to the baseline. Gets inside to stop. Lobs outside to a Reed Miller. Reed to the foul line. Turns, 10-footer away, partially blocked. Gets his own rebound and foul going back up. Reed had his shot blocked, grabbed it back, went back to the basket and drew some contact.
Panthers foul on number 2.
That's on Sam Simmons, his first. 4th team foul. Reed Miller, 65% on the foul line. Line right for 2. And Miller's first free throw is around and in. 10:03 remaining, first half. Tigers trail 18-13. One more for Reed Miller. And the shot is away and good. Miller out, Anthony Postolic back in for the Tigers. Stevens Point by 4 as we approach the halfway mark of the first half. Spash on the attack. Cullen across the line on Bowman. Comes the near side. Out top again to Mueller, far side. Erdman with the basketball. Bounces downstairs to Blair. Swings it back to the near side. Mueller, three-point try away and no good. Kicks out long to Meverton. Tigers on the breakout. Olsen near side to Postolic. Won't take the 3. Near side, Olsen open. He will fire the three-pointer. Off the rim, no good. Pulled in by Cullen. Smash ball up ahead to Blair on the near side. One-on-one with Meverton. Can't drive. Tries again. Gets inside. Throws a cross court. Back outside, a 3 for Erdman is away and no good. And Bowman grabs the rebound from Marshfield. Tigers push the ball to front court. Near side, Postolic. Pulls it back outside. Needs some help. Finds Meverton on the near wing. Baseline Anderson. Turns on Erdman. Can't back in. Olsen gets it back. Right back to Anderson. He'll drive. Cut off at the foul line. Bowman out top, Postolic once again. Off a screen from Anderson. Has an alley. Goes baseline. Pulls up. Short jumper around and out. Tipped around. And claimed by Simmons. Stevens Point ball. Blair back across the 10-second line for Spash on the drive in the lane. Leans in. Short jumper good. Drew Blair hard the basket for 2. Spash by 6. 8:45 left first half. Tigers back to forecourt. Bowman on the far side. Has an alley. Stops. Falls down. And slipped. And he'll be called for walking. Lucky didn't hurt himself. Tiger turnover. And Bowman will leave here. Reed Miller comes back in. 8:37 left in the first half. And Marshfield trails 20-14. Point ball in front court to our left. Cullen with the basketball, picked up by Miller. Far side, Erdman down low. Turns on Anderson, back outside again to Mueller. Starts to attack, spins in the lane, cut off. Cullen out front once again, picked up by Miller. Backs it out. Now takes a very long 3, good. A downtown 3 for Drew Cullen. And Spash by 9, their biggest lead, 8 minutes left in the first half. Marshfield to front court, Olsen to the near side. Holds outside the arc. Bounces in the lane to Miller, back outside Anderson. A three-pointer by Seth away and good. Seth Anderson with 2 3 tonight, gives him 6 for the year. Marshfield within 6, 7:45 left, first half. Spash on the attack, Mueller outside the arc, hands back to Blair. A very long 3, no good. And the rebound loose below the basket and picked up by Postolic. Ahead to Anderson, Seth on the run out, drives inside, off balance shot, good. Tough shot in traffic for Seth Anderson. He's got 10 tonight. Tigers within 4. Stevens Point on the attack. Cullen far side, picked up by Miller. Backs it out, pass into Blair below the basket. In deep, goes up, has it stripped loose, but fouled by Meverton. There'll be 2 on Isaac, and the 4th team foul.
Tigers foul on number 1, Isaac Meverton.
They can use Drew Blair for a lot of things. He's known as an outstanding outside shooter. but posts up pretty well as well. Plays college ball next year at Northwest Missouri, a very good Division II program. Shooting 2, his first is good. 7:10 remaining first half. Tigers trail 24-19. Bowman back in for Marshfield for Meverton. And Stevens Point brings in Darren Zwicker, a 6'1 junior, averaging 3 points per game. Second free throw for Drew Blair is also good. Marshfield down by 6. No pressure. Marshfield coming up the floor. Postolic on the dribble, lobs across to Bowman. Ball slapped loose. Brandt gets it back along the sideline. Needs some help, dribbles out of it. Hands back outside Postolic. Anderson to the foul line, shoots in traffic. Good. That's a tough shot in traffic for Seth. He's got 12 tonight. Tigers down by 4, 6:50 left in the first half. Point ball, Blair on the far side. He'll drive, cut off. Back out top to Mueller. He'll attack the foul line. Backdoor feed to Zwicker. Back outside to Blair. Gets inside. Layup is good. Drew Blair, a tough drive to the basket for 2. 6-point lead for Stevens Point. Now Marshfield back on the attack. Bowman across the line to Miller. He'll go baseline. Get inside. Short baseline jumper. Rolls around and falls out. Pulled in by Cullen. Stevens Point has the ball, leading by 6. Blair on the drive. Spins in the lane, pump fake, goes up and throws it in, and he's fouled as well. Tough shot for Blair in traffic. Basket is good, the foul called, I believe, on Anderson. First foul on Seth Anderson, 15 foul. Change for Stevens Point. Max Hoffmeister back in for Brennan Mueller. And Drew Blair, foul line left, attempting a 3-point play. Foul shot is up and in. Blair with 13 in the first half. Smashed by 9, matching their biggest lead. 6:10 left in the first half. Marshfield ball. Anderson down the lane. Falls down. And the ball picked up by Stevens Point. Same thing happened to Bowman earlier in this half, about the same spot. Here's a drive and a basket by Blair. 15 for Blair. And we have a Marshfield timeout. Boy, both Bowman and Anderson now have slipped on that end of the floor. Marshfield timeout. They're first with 5:53 remaining in the first half. Our score, Stevens Point 32, Marshfield 21. Back to Stevens Point and more basketball in just a moment.
What? Day, your first board meeting as the new CEO. Yay.
Good luck. You're gonna fail.
You've got this.
You couldn't just let it go, could you? Always the hero.
Hey, I'm security. I'd do the same for you.
Well, you wouldn't have to, since I worry about everything that would never happen to me.
Can't trust your auto mechanic. Who can you trust?
Stern Weiss & Sons Ready Mix Division is on the ground floor of construction projects like buildings, basements, driveways, floors, sidewalks, patios for businesses and homes. Now that winter is here, Stern Weiss & Sons is ready to do your ready mix project with heating agents for cold temperatures. They can help you with colored concrete as well. And remember, although concrete is durable, avoid using de-icers that disintegrate surfaces. Contact Stern Weiss & Sons for advice on pouring and proper care of your concrete. Stern Weiss & Sons Ready Mix Division in Marshfield on Wren Road at their block division, 400 East Arnold, and sternweissandsons.com.
You're listening to Marshfield Tiger basketball on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB-WOSQ.com. Tom Uthmeyer is our producer. I'm Gene Delisio at Stevens Point. Spash leading by 11. Tiger ball in front court to our right. Reed Miller going down the lane. Leans in, off balance shot, no good. Follows the shot, missed it again, and pulled in by Simmons. Point has the ball, leading by 11. 5.5 left. Blair at the foul line. Leans in, shoots, and misses this one. Reed Miller on the rebound. He's fouled. Got hit in midair by Darren Zwicker. First foul on Zwicker, 15 foul. Miller with 6 rebounds already in this ball game. Tigers led early by 3. Stevens Point has expanded their lead now to 11. Marshfield in front court to our right. Postolic across the line. Picked up by Hoffmeister. Comes near side to Miller, outside the arc. Baseline to Bowman. Brand can attack the baseline, turns in the corner on Simmons, bounces into Anderson, kicks back outside, Postolic for 3, up and no good. Rebound claimed by Cullen. Stevens Point on the move. Cullen to front court, Can't drive, comes back outside again. Held by Hoffmeister on Postolick. Far side Simmons gives back to Blair on the far wing. Anderson defending him now. Here's Cullen on the near wing. Gets a screen picked up by Bowman on the switch. Hoffmeister back on the far side again. Zwicker with it. Holds the ball on Miller. Cullen out top. Launches a three-pointer. Good.
Drew
Cullen for three. While Stevens Point now, with 5 threes here in the first half, they're up by 14. Marshfield to front court. Anderson on the drive, lays it in. Fouled on the floor before the shot, I believe.
Smash ball on number 13, Darren Zwicker.
That's on Darren Zwicker, his second foul. 6-team foul. Zwicker out, and Andrew Erdman back in. Tigers trail 35-21. 4:27 left before halftime. Tigers inbounding, baseline front court. Postolick on the near side. Backs it out on Hoffmeister. Starts to penetrate. Stopped in the circle, gives back to Anderson. To the foul line. Stopped by Urban at the high post. Far side to Bowman. Brand at the free throw line. He'll launch from there and connect. Brand Bowman gets the basket. Tigers down by 12. 4 minutes left in the first half. Stevens Point on offense. Hoffmeister across the line. Man-to-man defense by Marshfield. Now Blair top of the key. Backs it out. Can't drive. Near side Cullen. Three-point try away. No good. Ball on the floor. Postolick will grab it and shove it outside to Reed Miller. Reed on the run out, but the long lead pass stolen by Blair, and Stevens Point goes the other way. Breakout feed goes to Hoffmeister, who missed the lay-in and fouled by Postolick on the drive. First foul on Anthony, and the 6-team foul.
Anthony Postolick is first.
Max Hoffmeister, who's not tried a free throw yet this year. Shooting 2 on the line to our left. Hoffmeister ready, and his first free throw no good. 3:40 remaining, first half. Tigers trail 35-23. One more for Max Hoffmeister. And this shot is good. Tigers down by 13. Marshfield on the attack. Postolick to the near side, hands outside the arc to Bowman. Anderson top of the key. Gets back to Olsen on the near side, picked up by Cullen. Olsen to the baseline, turned away. Back outside Anderson once again. On the drive, gets inside, leans in, one-hander off the glass and in. That's 14 for Seth Anderson. In double figures for the 5th time this year. Tigers trail by 11. Point to forecourt. Blair going down the lane, cut off. Baseline Cullen for 3, good again.
Drew Cullen for 3.
Cullen averaging 6.7 per game, has 11 with 3 threes in the first half, and smashed by 14. Marshfield ball, far side Anderson, and the give and go to Reed Miller, who drives and scores. Reed Miller with 4, he surpasses 300 points for his Tiger career. Smash by 12, 2:45 remaining before halftime. Smash ball, Blair to the near side, to the free throw line. Comes back out with it, starts to drive on Anderson. Back outside again, here's Erdman in the near corner. Near side, Blair gets it back, starts to drive, cross court to Hoffmeister, baseline 3, no good. Rebound to Anderson. Seth rushing to front court, holds on the near side. One-on-one with Erdman, back out top Miller. Bowman deep on the far wing, a long 3 up and no good. But the long rebound tracked down by Erdman. Spash has it back, leading by 12. Drew Blair across the timeline. Gets a screen on the far side by Hoffmeister. Now Hoffmeister grabs it back between the circles. Right back to Blair. He'll penetrate at the foul line. Off-balance shot, no good. Tipped outside to Miller. Tigers on the run out. Now Olsen stops. He falls down. The ball taken away by Blair. He'll drive inside. Hand it to Erdman. He'll drive inside. Lay it up and miss it. Gets it back. Layup is missed again. And pulled in by Bowman. 3 Tigers now have fallen down on the floor at some point during the game. Anderson top of the key. Holds outside the arc. Hands back outside Postolick. Near side, here's Tommy Olsen. Baseline Bowman. 3-pointer is up and in. Brant Bowman hits the 3. His 12th of the year. Tigers down by 9. Stevens Point on offense. Blair wants a screen on the far side from Erdman. Rubs off to the circle. Can't get down the lane. Far side hits Cullen. Simmons comes near side again, Erdman. 60 seconds before halftime. Point by 9. Hoffmeister, far side to Cullen. He'll lob baseline to Blair, turns on Anderson, goes inside, layup is good. Blair right around Anderson for 2. Blair now with 17 here in the first half. 11-point lead for Spash, 45 seconds in the period. Marshfield on the attack, Miller top of the key. Pulls up, foul line jumper up and no good. Yeah, he went on and fell in. Miller got the roll for 2. Tigers down by 9, 35 seconds left before halftime. Cullen behind the line, he'll cross on Bowman. Back outside Hoffmeister in the center circle. 25 seconds left first half. Spash by 9. Simmons comes near side to Blair. 18 on the clock, and he'll take over here. One-on-one with Anderson. We're closing out the first half. Spash by 9, 10 on the clock. Blair out near the center line with Anderson. Drives outside to the top of the circle, leans in, cross-court pass stolen. Grabbed back by Blair, hands to Erdman for a three-pointer. No good, rebound to Anderson as time expires. And Spash up by 9 here at the halftime break. Our coverage of Marshfield Tiger basketball tonight on WDLB, a service of S&S Insurance of Marshfield, Shriners Plumbing and Heating of Marshfield, and Fairway Mortgage of Marshfield. Our halftime score is Stevens Point 41, the Marshfield Tigers 32. We'll come back with our halftime program following these messages.
For almost 50 years, Abbey Bank has been providing financial services to local families and businesses. What makes us different? Our partnership with the communities we serve, helping families grow, helping business grow, and celebrating important moments. With new programs and facilities, support for our youth, and help for those most in need. Abbey Bank invests in its communities and gives back locally. With locations in Abbotsford, Appleton, Medford, Wausau, and Weston, we make banking about you. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, nasonvilledairy.com. V&H Automotive Service Department, located just north of Marshfield on Highway 97. At V&H Automotive of Marshfield, our highly qualified technicians are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. From oil changes to transmission replacements, we are dedicated to maintaining top-tier customer service for both new and pre-owned car buyers. Allow our staff to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. V&H Service, located just north of Marshfield on Highway 97.
This tip from RE/MAX American Dream Realty in Marshfield.
Our halftime score here at Stevens Point 41, Marshfield 32. Earlier this evening, the girls' game, Stevens Point beat Marshfield 62-47. Marshfield led in that ball game by Katie Osinski with 11 points. Jenna Jacoby tossed in 10. Marshfield Tiger basketball tonight on WDLB, a service of Ag Country Farm Credit Services, supporting agriculture and rural communities throughout central Wisconsin. Our halftime score, Stevens Point 41, Marshfield 32. And back with our halftime scoring summary in just a moment.
The next time you need a plumber, call Shriners Plumbing and Heating of Marshfield. Shriners Plumbing has licensed plumbers, and they've been offering fast, dependable service to the Marshfield area for nearly 100 years. They do it all, from pump service and installation to water heaters, water softeners, sewer and drain cleaning. They have kitchen and bath fixtures too. Come see their showroom to give your home a bold new look with Kohler. When you need a plumber, don't settle for anything less. Call the best. Shriners Plumbing and Heating, 106 East 4th Street in Marshfield. Buying a home can make you feel like a mouse in an endless maze. Wrong turn here, wrong turn there. At Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, they want to guide you through every turn to help you find the cheese.
This is Todd Schultz with Fairway Mortgage. We want to be your trusted lender for life. We work with FHA, VA, WIDA, USDA, conventional, and reverse mortgage loans. Come in today or call us to set up an appointment. We'll review all your options. You get more home loan solutions with Fairway of Marshfield.
Fairway is your local mortgage specialist. Visit Fairway at 211 South Central Avenue, downtown Marshfield. Also on the internet at fairwaymarshfield.com. Or call them today, 715-384-7878, and like them on Facebook.
Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 2289, is an equal housing lender. All rights reserved. Not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without notice. Other restrictions and limitations apply. Todd Schultz, NMLS number 642092.
Marshfield Tiger boys basketball team trailing Stevens Point here at halftime, 41-32. And our halftime stats, a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most, Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. At halftime, Stevens Point led by Drew Blair with 17 points, Drew Cullen with 11, Andrew Erdman and Brennan Mueller each with 6, Max Hoffmeister with 1. Marshfield led by Seth Anderson with 14 points, Seth in double figures for the 5th time this season. Brant Bowman has 7, Reed Miller 6, Isaac Miverton 5. On the foul line, Marshfield 2 of 3, Stevens Point 5 of 8. Marshfield has 6 turnovers. Stevens Point has 0 turnovers so far tonight. Marshfield's biggest lead has been 3. Point's biggest lead has been 14. We have had 2 ties at 2 and at 5, and 5 lead changes in the first half. Reed Miller already has 7 rebounds in this ball game. Our halftime stats, a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most, Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their fine financial advice. At halftime, our score is Stevens Point 41, Marshfield 32. And more from Stevens Point in just a moment.
Business insurance.
Hey, Day, your first board meeting as the new CEO. Yay.
Good luck. You're going to fail.
You've got this.
You couldn't just let it go, could you? Always the hero.
Hey, I'm security. I'd do the same for you.
Well, you wouldn't have to, since I worry about everything that would never happen to me.
For almost 50 years, Abbey Bank has been providing financial services to local families and businesses. What makes us different? Our partnership with the communities we serve, helping families grow, helping business grow, and celebrating important moments. With new programs and facilities, support for our youth, and help for those most in need. Abbey Bank invests in its communities and gives back locally. With locations in Abbotsford, Appleton, Medford, Wausau, and Weston, we make banking about you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Company, a division of JBL International, specializing in stainless steel fabrication worldwide, and a proud backer of Marshfield area youth programs and activities. The folks at Paget Equipment support healthy competition. It helps prepare youth for life, teaching them important concepts like teamwork and fair play. Important in athletics, important in business, important in life. Paget Equipment, a strong backer of the youth of Marshfield, urging you to get involved with school-related activities.
Marshfield Tiger boys basketball team trail Stevens Point here at halftime, 41-32. Some college basketball action around the state on Wednesday evening. Tomorrow night, UW Stevens Point men's basketball team will face Lawrence at Berg Gym and Quan Fieldhouse in Stevens Point. Game time 7 p.m. The Viterbo men, coached by Marshfield's Wayne Wagner, and featuring Jared Fleischman of Columbus, will play UW Eau Claire, featuring Tyler Furlinger of Columbus, at the Viterbo Gym in La Crosse tomorrow at 7 p.m. UW Milwaukee men play in Tennessee against Belmont tomorrow at 6:30, and the Wisconsin Badger men face Western Kentucky at the Kohl Center in Madison tomorrow at 7 p.m. Coverage of that game begins at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, and on WDLB, WOSQ.com. Here at Stevens Point, our halftime score is Stevens Point 41 and the Marshfield Tigers 32. We'll start the second half of basketball following these messages.
If you've been rushing around looking for that perfect gift, look no further than Marshfield Book and Stationery. Get 40% off office desks, chairs, file cabinets, and for a unique gift, pick up adult coloring supplies, including coloring books, pencils, markers, and art supplies. Or other great gift ideas like puzzles, learning games, dice cups, photo albums, and scrapbooks, recipe cards, and binders. Gifts for all ages can be found at Marshfield Book and Stationery on West McMillan Street, Marshfield.
Here's another tooth truth from Dental Clinic of Marshfield.
To fight tooth decay, seal it out. Regular brushing, flossing, and cleanings are the foundation of good dental health. But you also have another tool to protect your smile: dental sealants. Dental sealants offer great protection from cavities for children, teens, and adults.
Dental Clinic of Marshfield. Dental care for life. Schedule an appointment today at any of their 3 offices in Marshfield, Stratford, or Neillsville. Learn more at dentalclinicofmarshfield.com.
Get outfitted this holiday season with Victory Apparel in Marshfield.
Focus on the fundamentals. We've gone over time and time again.
Whether it's to show your school spirit, rec department leagues, even corporate wear, Victory Apparel has the selection. New holiday, high school, and NCAA apparel are in stock. All 2017 spring and summer styles at closeout prices. Gift certificates available too.
All right! Let's go!
Shop for the high school or NCAA fan on your holiday list at Victory Apparel, across from Mittens, downtown Marshfield.
Let's review that girls basketball game earlier this evening. Stevens Point defeating Marshfield in girls basketball tonight, 62-47. Stevens Point led by Maggie Negard with 17 points. Leah Ernest scored 14, Rachel Sullivan 13. Marshfield paced by Keedy Osinski, matching her career high with 11 points. And Jenna Jacoby scored 10. Hannah Meverden and Maddie Michaels each scored 8. In the boys contest at halftime, Stevens Point leads Marshfield 41-32. Tigers start the second half with Meverden, Anderson, Miller, Postolick, and Bowman. Stevens Point will have the basketball in front court to our right as we begin second half action. Max Hoffmeister with it. He'll come across the timeline on Anthony Postolick. Drew Blair out top to the foul line, can't get down the lane. Hands outside to Cullen, he'll attack, go up and shot, rejected by Anderson, picked up by Meverden. There was a major league block. Tigers back to front court. Anderson outside the arc to Bowman for 3, short. Miller flies in to tip the rebound high in the air, but it's claimed by Mueller. Stevens Point on the run out. Mueller hands to Blair. He'll take a 3-pointer in rhythm and miss it. Anderson rebounds for Marshfield. Tigers up the head to Bowman. He'll drive inside. His shot squatted down. Put back up and missed by Meverden and claimed by Erdman. Blair has it back. Comes back to front court for Spash. He's on the drive. Leans in. Off the glass, no good. Rebound to Meverden. Tigers back to front court. Trailing by 9. Here's Anderson. Comes near side to Miller. Anderson top of the key. On the drive around Blair. Puts it up off the glass. Missed it. Rebound tipped outside to Hoffmeister. A lot of wild shots here on both sides. Now Erdman takes it across the timeline for Stevens Point. Early second half, point by 9. Mueller bounces downstairs to Blair, backs in on Meverden, leans in, short jumper, rolls in. Drew Blair with 19, Spash by 11. Marshfield back on offense. Postolick between the circles. Anderson outside the arc, baseline hits Meverden. Now bounces into Anderson, turnaround from 10 is up and in. Tough shot for Seth Anderson, who now has 16. Marshfield down by 9. Stevens Point on offense. Blair across the line. Gets Hoffmeister on the near wing. Nice play by Anderson. Cut off a passing lane and couldn't make the pass across the floor. Here's a whistle. And the official on the far sideline stopping play. You may have seen a wet spot on the floor. Tommy Olson comes back in for the Tigers for Brant Bowman. 16-13 left in regulation time. Tigers trail 43-34. One of the Spash players has a shoelace problem, and I believe that's Drew Cullen. He has a very long shoelace. And he's going to get rid of part of that. And now we'll resume play. Cullen inbounding at quarter court. That was a major league shoelace for that guy. Hoffmeister right near the timeline. Comes to Mueller, top of the circle. Bounces into Blair, cross-court feed to Erdman, open for a three-pointer, and it's no good. Ball in the corner, tracked down by Cullen. Spash has it back. Blair out top on Meverden. Mueller gets it back on the near side. Hits Hoffmeister. Far side Blair facing the basket on Meverden. Kicks back outside again to Hoffmeister. Down the lane, cut off. Now Cullen deep on the far wing. He'll drive on Olsen, stopped. Cross-court feed, here's Hoffmeister for three. Rattles out of there, and the rebound claimed by Tommy Olsen. Tigers come to front court. Olsen top of the key, far side to Meverden. Out top Anderson, picked up by Erdman. Anderson gets it back to Miller on the far side, defense by Blair. Now down the lane, Postolic, far side, Miller gets it back. Leans in baseline, off the glass, no good. He follows, but the rebound ripped down by Erdman. He then falls down, and a walking call on Erdman. He tripped over Miller, and the officials call traveling on Erdman. Tigers may have gotten a break there, but by our count, that's Stevens Point's first turnover. Scott Anderson not very pleased about that call. 15-13 left. Spash leads 43-34. Marshfield inbounding at quarter court. Olsen in backcourt. Tigers, by the way, have used only 6 men tonight. Olsen will cross, comes near side to Miller. In the corner, Meverden. Holds, waits for the cutter, inside to Postolic. Batted out of bounds, though, by Hoffmeister. Tigers will throw it in once again, baseline front court. Meverden, far side to Miller, can't get off the three. Anderson holds it top of the circle, now drives inside, leans in traffic, off the glass, no good, but fouled. Anderson hard to the basket and drew contact. That call on Brennan Mueller, his second foul, first team foul. Seth Anderson, 67% on the foul line. He'll shoot 2, line left, and his first is good. 14:53 left. Tigers trail 43-35. Seth Anderson now with 17 points. Gets a second free throw. Shot is away and good. Tigers within 7. Brendan Mueller in backcourt starts up the floor on Reed Miller. He'll cross the timeline to the circle, stop there. Backdoor cut to Blair, who drives and scores. Nicely done backdoor cut to Drew Blair. He's got 21 and Spash up by 9. Marshfield back down the floor. Postolic between the circles. Kicks it back near side to Miller. Holds outside the arc. Attacks to the free throw line. Leans in, 10-footer away and around and out. And claimed by Erdman. Ball went rolling for Reed. Erdman takes it across the 10-second line. Drops the ball but grabs it back to the center line. Far side to Hoffmeister. Hits Mueller along the far sideline. Baseline on Miller, and Reed shuts him down. Tries again into the lane. Leans in, kicks back outside to Erdman. Hoffmeister out top, was expecting the pass. Back to Miller for 3, no good. Anderson there to grab the rebound for Marshfield. Gives to Postolic, comes across the timeline. In the corner, hits Meverden. On the cut to Anderson, he'll drive, reverse layup, good. Anderson from Meverden. Anderson with 20 points. Hits the 20-point mark for the 3rd time this year. Tigers down by 7. Spash ball, Cullen baseline, stopped by Olsen. Kicks back outside again to Mueller. Now Drew Blair top of the key. Drives on Meverden, stopped in the circle, pulls it back out. Near side hits Mueller. Holds on the near wing, goes baseline on Miller. Spins in the corner. Goes back outside to Cullen once again. He'll attack, drops the ball, gets it back outside. Now Mueller bounces near side to Hoffmeister. Hands back to Blair for a very long 3, up and rattles out. Miller there for the rebound. Tigers to front court. Postolic across the timeline. Anthony out near the center line, near side to Miller. Fakes the 3, now takes the 3, leaves it short. Ball in the corner, and thrown back on the floor by Olsen to Meverden, right back to Olsen. Near side Anderson, 3-pointer away, good. Seth Anderson, 3 threes tonight. Good hustle by Meverden and Olsen on that rebound. Tigers within 4, 12:45 to play. Stevens Point offense. Here's Cullen on the near side. Bounces downstairs to Blair. He'll turn on Meverden, back in. Turns, no shot. Cross-court feed knocked down by Miller. Reed has a steal and a one-on-one. Miller to the basket, lays it up, and it rolls off. And the rebound comes down to Cullen. Tough break there for the Tigers. Cullen, far side, Mueller for 3. Good. Boy, that's a 5-point swing right there. And just like that, the Tigers down by 7 rather within 3. Here's Stevens Point back to defensively. Marshfield to forecourt. Postolic on the far wing, pass near side to Wilson. Anderson in the corner, drives, turned away. Backs in, kicks it cross court to Miller. Reed out top, Postolic on the drive. Comes back out to Olsen, but a walking call on Postolic as he made that pass. 7 Tiger turnovers. 11:55 left, Tigers trail 48-41. And Stevens Point moving back up the floor. Hoffmeister moves across the timeline. Hands outside the arc to Blair to the foul line cutoff. Back to Mueller on the near wing. The top of the key, lobs far side to Cullen. Can't take the 3 on Olsen. Erdman swings back near side. Mueller once again. Now Blair in the circle. Starts to attack, stopped by Meverden. Mueller gets it back on the wing. Backdoor feed to Erdman, can't get off the shot. Tipped out of bounds by Meverden. And last hit by Meverden. He's pointing the other way, but it's going to be Spash ball. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger basketball on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB-WOSQ.com. Tom Uthmeyer, our producer. I'm Gene Delisio at Stevens Point. Inbound pass in the backcourt. Blair recrosses, starts to drive down the lane, leans in, shot up off the glass and in and fouled. Blair doing it all for Stevens Point tonight, has 23. And fouled by Miller, his second foul. First team foul. Tom Uthmeyer is our producer. I'm Gene Delisio at Stevens Point. Spash now by 9. Blair attempting a 3-point play. And the shot is up and in. Drew Blair with 24 and Spash by 10. Marshfield back down the floor. Anderson far side to the baseline, stopped by Erdman. Comes back outside with it. Postolic top of the key. It's a screen from Anderson, baseline to Miller. Now Anderson once again, 3-point try by Seth, good again. Seth Anderson with a career high 26 tonight, thanks to 4 threes. And the Tigers down by 7, 10:55 to play. Spash on the attack. Erdman out top, he'll drive on Anderson, shut down. Blair gets it back, picked up by Postolic. Far side, a long 3 by Erdman, no good. And Postolic goes high for the rebound. Up ahead to Anderson. Seth on the far side. Out top, Miller. Goes baseline, leans in, short jumper off the glass and in. Tough shot for Reed Miller. Tigers within 5 with 10:30 to play. Stevens Point comes back on the attack. Blair on the far side, and he gets bumped and fouled, and the ball goes out of bounds and off of Blair. They're not going to call the foul on Miller. They call out of bounds off Blair. Brant Bowman back in for Marshfield. And Stevens Point wants a timeout. Spash timeout there first. 10:24 remaining in regulation time on our score. Stevens Point 51, Marshfield 46. The Marshfield Tiger boys basketball team returns to action Friday night with a Wisconsin Valley Conference game at Wisconsin Rapids. Tip-off is at 7:15. Our broadcast Friday evening at 7 p.m. Tiger boys at Wisconsin Rapids Friday night, right here on AM 1450 WDLB and on WDLB-WOSQ.com. 10:24 left in regulation time. And Marshfield trail Stevens Point 51-46. Columbus Dons basketball team with a win over Auburndale tonight, 67-49. The Dons led by 22 at halftime and win that game by 18. Tigers back to within 5 with 10:24 remaining. Tigers out with Meverden, Miller, Olsen, Anderson, and Bowman. Tiger ball. Tommy Olsen at the controls. He's back across the timeline on Hoffmeister. Baseline Meverden. Lobs in for Anderson. Down low, goes up and scores it and fouled as well. Anderson with 28. The basket good. And fouled by Erdman. Second foul on Erdman. Second team foul. Hoffmeister out. Sam Simmons back in. And Seth Anderson line left attempting a 3-point play. Seth is set. His foul shot is away and good. Seth Anderson with 29. And the Tigers trail by 1. with 10:05 to play. Smash ball. Cullen comes to Mueller out top. Pass far side to Erdman to the baseline. Stopped. Back outside to Cullen. Right back to Erdman deep in the corner. Now here's Mueller top of the key. Looking for some help. Starts to penetrate. Comes out to Cullen. A very long three is short. And Anderson grabs the rebound. Tigers can take the lead with a basket. Bowman far side. Out top to Miller. Olsen on the near wing. Baseline to Meverden. Holds in the corner. Bounces into Anderson through his legs, though, and taken by Erdman. Tiger turnover. Blair across the timeline on the drive down the lane. Leans in, shoots, and misses, but was fouled on the shot. Isaac Meverden on the foul, his third. Second team foul. Drew Blair on the foul line, where he is 4 of 6 tonight. He has 24. Seth Anderson has 29. Blair shooting 2. His first try is good. 9:24 remaining. Tigers trail 52-50. Drew Blair with one more foul shot. It is away and good. Smash again by 3. Anthony Postolic back in for Isaac Meverden for the Tigers. Tigers down by 3, 9:24 to play. Postolic in backcourt, hands to Miller. Reed moves across the 10-second stripe on Erdman. Near side Postolic. Cross court Olsen, Tommy open. He'll take that three-point shot and nail it. Tommy Olsen for 3. And we are tied at 53, halfway through the second half. Smash to front court. Blair on the far wing. Off a screen to the baseline, drives inside, leans in, short jumper good, and some contact as Bowman moved in on him. Blair gets the basket, and Bowman called on the block. Brandt's second foul, third team foul. Smash back up by 2. And Blair on the line to our right will attempt a three-point play. Blair ready, his free throw is up and in. Blair with 29, and again Smash by 3, 8:50 to play. Postolic hustles to front court on Simmons. Far side hits Miller. Cross court to Bowman, off a screen. Brand holds, starts to drive in the lane, dumps it back in the corner. Anderson for 3, partially blocked by Blair. Blair grabs it, reads a charge to front court. Heads for the far corner. Blair in the corner, drives the baseline, spins, fall away, jump shot up and no good. And Miller there for the rebound, his 9th. Tigers have it back, they're down by 3. Postolic to front court, near side to Olsen. Tommy outside the arc, brings it back out front, far side Postolic. Anthony top of the key, harassed by Simmons. Holman gets it back to Olsen on the far wing. Olsen harassed out there. He'll now drive the lane, cut off, baseline Miller. Reed has an open three-point try, no good. Tipped in the corner and claimed by Erdman. Up ahead to Blair. Smash back on the attack, leading by 3, 7:50 left. Mueller on the cut to Erdman. He falls down, but picked up by Mueller. Stevens Point has it back. A lot of guys falling down tonight. Here's Cullen on the near wing. Mueller has it back on the near sideline, attacks the foul line. Caught up in traffic, back outside to Simmons. Downstairs, Erdman backs in on Miller. Turns, hits Simmons in the corner. He'll drive inside. Baseline Blair, he'll take the baseline, get inside. Short jumper rolls in, and he's fouled as well. Tough shot for Blair. He's got 31. He scored 30 points or more now in all 4 Stevens Point ball games this year. Isaac Meverden back in for Brand Bowman. And Blair on the foul line to our right with a smash lead back to 5. Darren Zwicker comes back in for Stevens Point. Cullen is out. And Drew Blair line right will attempt a three-point play. And the free throw is going to roll out of there, and Miller rebounds. 10 rebounds for Reed Miller. We were tied at 53. Now Stevens Point leads by 5. Marshfield ball, Olsen far sideline, baseline to Miller. Back outside, Olsen open for another three-pointer. Good again, and he's knocked down as well. Tommy Olson for three and got knocked down on the play. Basket is good. And the foul called on Zwicker, his third team foul. Tommy Olson, line left, attempting a 4-point play. And that gets Hoffmeister back in the ball game, and Zwicker will leave. Tommy Olson with a career-high 6 points tonight with a 4-point play opportunity. Foul shot is away and around and in. Tigers down by 1, 7:05 to play. Here comes Stevens Point to front court, and Simmons behind the defense for an easy lay-in. Tigers caught napping on defense, and Simmons down the floor for an easy two. Smash back up by 3, 6:55 left. Marshfield ball, Postolic on the near wing. Near corner hits Meverton, bounces in the lane, ball knocked away from Anderson, comes outside, and Marshfield gets a timeout as that ball rolls around the floor. Marshfield gets a timeout here. Tigers' second timeout. 6:45 remaining in regulation time. Our score is Stevens Point 60 and the Marshfield Tigers 57. Marshfield Tiger basketball tonight on WDLB. A service of Total Electric Service of Marshfield, Marshfield Book and Stationery, and Rail Transport of Marshfield. Tigers trailed by 14 in the first half of this game, came back here in the second half, tied it at 53. Now Stevens Point has forged ahead. They're back up by 3 with 6:45 to play. Tigers out with Postolic, Miller, Olson, Anderson, and Meverton. Marshfield inbounding, baseline front court. Meverton to inbound. Lobs for Anderson outside the arc. Ball slapped loose out of bounds by Blair. Tigers retain possession. They'll inbound at quarter court. Meverton to toss it in. Hits Postolic near the timeline. Anthony holds out top. Tigers need 3 to tie. Anderson far wing. Drives on Blair, knocks him down. Layup is good, but fouled by Blair on the floor. They'll call the block on Blair, but on the floor before the shot. Drew Blair on the foul, his first. 4th team foul. Shot is waved off, but the Tigers retain possession. They inbound baseline front court. And the officials want to confer at the scorer's table. Marshfield Tiger basketball tonight on WDLB, a service of Sternweiss & Sons and their block division, 400 East Arnold Street in Marshfield. Conference at the table. We have 6:36 left in regulation time, and Stevens Point leads Marshfield 60-57. And now they want the coaches over there as well. So a conference at the scorer's table, and the players will come to the sidelines also. Girls game this evening won by Stevens Point 62-47. Katie Osinski matched her career high with 11 points to lead Marshfield in that ball game. Jenna Jacoby scored 10, but the Tigers lose that one to Point by 15. The conference is over, and Marshfield gets to inbound baseline front court, down by 4 with 6:36 to play. Inbound pass near side to Postolic. Backs it out. Anderson outside the arc to Meverton top of the circle. Swings back to Olson on the near side. Anderson in the circle, can't drive. Postolic baseline to Meverton. Through his hands, he gets it back, goes baseline, leans in. Cross court, Olson, a baseline 3 is up and no good. Meverton there for the rebound. Back outside, Postolic for 3, around and out. Tipped up and in, either by Anderson or Olson. They'll give it to Olson. And the Tigers back to within 2 with 6 minutes to play. Smash ball. Blair near side to Hoffmeister. Cross court to Erdman. Tommy Olson on a big tip in. Baseline, Hoffmeister gets inside, overlays but foul. And 2 free throws here for Stevens Point. It's on Reed Miller.
Number 4, Reed Miller.
3rd on Reed. 4th team foul. Brennan Mueller, 6 of 7 on the foul line this season, 1 of 1 tonight. Line right, first free throw good. He's got 10 points tonight, matching his season high. Drew Cullen back in for Max Hoffmeister. 5:49 left. Spash lead 61-58. One more for Brennan Mueller. Shot is away and good. Spash 6 of 7 on the foul line in the second half. They lead by 4 with 5:45 to play. Tigers come to front court. Meverton out top. Hands back to Postolick. Anthony out near the center line. Far side hits Miller. High post to Anderson. Set double team. Lobs out to Olsen. Baseline Postolick. An open three-pointer off the rim. No good. Pulled in by Blair. Stevens Point on the breakout. Blair to the foul line. Stop. Baseline to Erdman. Cut off. Hands back to Blair. He'll go baseline. Get inside and lay it in. Drew Blair with 33 and Spash back up by 6. Marshfield to forecourt. Miller has an alley. He'll drive. Baseline to Olsen. Comes back out to Postolick. Ball slipped loose and stolen away by Erdman. A 3-on-2. Erdman hands to Blair. He gets knocked down. Ball's loose and picked up by Marshfield. No foul called. Tigers come back to front court. Olsen holds on the near side. Needs some help. Finds Postolick near the center line. 4:50 left. Spash by 6. Postolick cross court to Olsen. Fakes the 3. To the baseline. Turned away by Cullen. Olsen back out front. Starts to penetrate on Cullen. Gets inside. Turned away. Back outside to Anderson. Knocked out of bounds by Cullen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have free popcorn over at the concession
4.5 remaining. Tigers trail 64-58. Tigers inbounding at the center line. Postolick holds the ball. Bowman tried to check in, but couldn't get in time. Postolick off a screen to the far side. And Marshfield wants a timeout. Tiger timeout, their third. 4:24 remaining in regulation time, and our score, Stevens Point 64, Marshfield 58. More basketball coming up in just a moment.
For almost 50 years, Abbey Bank has been providing financial services to local families and businesses. What makes us different? Our partnership with the communities we serve, helping families grow, helping business grow, and celebrating important moments. With new programs and facilities, support for our youth, and help for those most in need. Abbey Bank invests in its communities and gives back locally. With locations in Abbotsford, Appleton, Medford, Wausau, and Weston, we make banking about you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Merry Christmas, everyone, from your friends at First Choice Credit Union in Marshfield. Hi, this is Lyle Miller, hoping you have a safe and eventful Christmas holiday with family and friends. When it comes to financial decisions, First Choice Credit Union in Marshfield has all the financial services needed in today's fast-paced economy.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone.
Stevens Point leads by 6, 4:24 left in regulation time. Marshfield out with Meverton, Olsen, Bowman, Anderson, and Miller. They have played those 5 plus Postolick tonight. That's it. Tigers inbounding at quarter court. Olsen in backcourt, comes back across the timeline. Stands in the center circle. Picked up by Cullen. Wants some help, finds Anderson. Seth goes inside and knocks a man down for a charge. Mueller called knockdown on the play. Second foul on Anderson. 5th team foul. Tigers' 9th turnover. Spash by 6 with 4:10 to play. Stevens Point coming length of the floor. Tigers can't come back. Tied the ball game at 53. Outscored 11-5 since then. Spash up the floor. Hoffmeister across the line on Miller. Far side to Simmons. They played only 7 tonight. Erdman down low, turns on Anderson. Hands back to Blair. He'll pull it back out on Meverton. 3:55 left. Spash by 6. Cullen on the near wing to the free throw line. Inside feed to Erdman for the lay-in. Erdman scores it. Spash by 8 with 3:40 to play. Marshfield ball. Miller outside the arc. Lobbed back out to Anderson. Near side to Olsen. Baseline Bowman turns. A long 2 by Brandt is good. Bowman with 9. Tigers down by 6. 3.5 to play. Point comes back to front court. Simmons out near the center line. Mueller on the far wing, out top Cullen once again, can't get inside. Backdoor feed to Olsen, to Blair rather, in too deep, has to come back out. Tries again, leans in, shoots and misses. And Bowman there to grab the rebound. Tigers have it back. Bowman comes to front court, hands to Anderson. Baseline Olsen, three-pointer away and off the rim, no good. Tipped up and in by Meverden, and he's fouled as well. Isaac Meverden on the tip in. I think he was just trying to keep the ball alive and tipped into the basket. Foul is on Erdman, his fourth, team's fifth. Meverden line left attempting a three-point play. Foul shot is away, it's around and it falls off, rebound to Blair. 3 minutes to play, Spash by 4. Point basketball, Cullen comes near side to Erdman, picked up by Anderson. Back outside, Cullen fakes a long three to the baseline, stopped, hands to Blair, he'll attack in the lane, pull up, 10-footer is away and no good, ball on the floor and grabbed by Meverden, then knocked loose by Blair out of bounds and Blair hits it last. Tigers not aggressive there in grabbing that rebound. 2:40 to play, Tigers down by 4, coming length of the floor. Tommy Olsen up the floor for Marshfield. Moves across the timeline, gets a screen from Meverden. On the cut to Bowman, foul line jumper by Brandt, away and around and in. Brandt Bowman with 11 and double figures for the fourth time this year. Tigers down by 2, 2:20 to play. Spash ball, Cullen on the near wing. Bounces out top to Hoffmeister. Now Erdman deep on the far side. Blair has it, near side Cullen. Holds outside the arc, top of the circle. Lobs far corner. Hoffmeister on the drive, in the lane. Turns, goes back in the corner to Erdman once again. 2 minutes to play, Spash by 2. Cullen in the lane, lobs back to the near side. Grab by Mueller on the cut inside to Erdman. He's in deep, layup is good. Again, the Spash Ball Club finds that cutter near the basket. 4-point lead for Spash, 1:40 to play. Marshfield back down the floor. Anderson top of the circle, near side Bowman, 4-3, up and no good. The long rebound to Miller, back to the basket, lays up and missed it. Ball loose and taken by Blair. Holds in backcourt, 90 seconds to play. Spash to front court, leading by 4. And Blair will pull it out. Wants to run some clock, and he's fouled by Meverden. Fourth on Meverden. 6-team foul.
His fourth. Drew Blair is shooting 1-1.
1-1 coming for Drew Blair. 7 of 10 on the foul line tonight, and 33 points. And Blair's first free throw is no good, and rebounded by Seth Anderson. Tigers down by 4, 1:15 to play. Marshfield on the attack. Miller on the near side. In the lane, foul line jumper up and around and out, tipped outside and claimed by Bowman. Back to Olsen, 4-3, good. Tigers grab the long rebound and score the 3. They're back to within 1. 1:03 remaining in regulation time. Our score is Stevens Point 68 and the Marshfield Tigers 67. Stevens Point using a timeout here. High school basketball around Central Wisconsin Thursday night in the Marywood Conference. Prentice is at Stratford, Athens at Newman. In the Central Wisconsin, Allman Bancroft at Pittsville. Tigerton plays at Northland Lutheran. In the Great Northern, Medford at Mosinee, and non-conference boys basketball on Thursday, Greenwood is at Blair Taylor. 1:03 remaining in regulation time, and Stevens Point leads Marshfield 68-67. Stevens Point will have the basketball. Point playing without Joey Hauser, sidelined with a foot injury. He's on the bench, at the end of the bench, with his foot in a cast. Spash coming length of the floor. Cullen to inbound, running the baseline. Bounces into Erdman deep in backcourt. Starts up the floor. 60 seconds to play. Spash by 1. Blair out near the center line. Drives on Meverden. Cut off. Comes back out with it. Clock down to 50 seconds left. Blair in the lane. Leans in, shoots, and scores and foul. Blair on the drive for 2. Basket is good. Spash back up by 3.
Number 3, Tommy Olsen.
Foul is on Tommy Olsen, his first. 7-team foul. Anthony Postula comes back in for Isaac Meverden. Drew Blair attempting a three-point play. Spash now up by 3. 49 seconds left. Blair ready. And the foul shot is around and it falls in. So it's now a 4-point lead for Spash. 48 seconds left. Tigers need 2 possessions. Pass across the line. A bad pass stolen by Blair as a breakout and lays it in. Anderson not looking for the pass. And Blair makes the steal. And Anderson comes down the floor and knocks down a man for a charge. So back-to-back turnovers by Marshfield. Marshfield down by 6, 35 seconds left. Anderson's 3rd foul, 8th team foul. Meverden back in for Olson. 35 seconds left, and Stevens Point leads by 6. Successive turnovers by the Tigers. Spash inbounding in backcourt. Cullen ahead to Blair, and he'll recross the timeline. Underneath, Erdman wide open. Layup is up and in. Easy layup for Spash. They're up by 8, 25 seconds left. Marshfield to front court. Bowman on the far wing hits Miller for a long three-pointer. It's up and in. A long 3 for Miller. Spash by 5, 15 seconds left. Foul on the inbound pass. Blair hit by Bowman. 3rd on Brant Bowman. 9th team foul. Why, Tigers within 1 moments ago, but then back-to-back turnovers on a bad pass and then an offensive foul. And Drew Blair back on the foul line shooting 2 more. He's got, by our count, 38 tonight. His career high is 37, so he surpassed his career high. Shooting 2. Blair's first shot is good. 15 seconds left. Spash lead 76-70. 1 more for Drew Blair. He's doing it all with Joey Hauser on the bench. Although 3 other Spash players in double figures tonight. Second free throw is good. Blair with 40. Spash by 7, 15 seconds to play. Bowman in backcourt starts up the floor. He'll cross on Simmons, near side Anderson. Pulls up a 15-footer away and no good. Long rebound to Blair. With 6 seconds left, he'll hold in front court. And Stevens Point escapes with a tough win here at home this evening. Good effort by the Marshfield Tigers, but not enough to win this one tonight. We'll have a recap of all the Central Wisconsin sports news on our On Sports program. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. right here on AM 1450 WDLB and WDLB-WOSQ.com. Our final score this evening, Stevens Point 77 and the Marshfield Tigers 70. We'll have a full recap on our postgame report in just a moment.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com. V&H Automotive Service Department, located just north of Marshfield on Highway 97. At V&H Automotive of Marshfield, our highly qualified technicians are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. From oil changes to transmission replacements, we are dedicated to maintaining top-tier customer service for both new and pre-owned car buyers. Allow our staff to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. V&H Service, located just north of Marshfield on Highway 97.
Utility.
The Marshfield Tiger Booster Club congratulates Tiger softball players named to the Wisconsin Valley All-Conference softball team in the spring of 2017. Congratulations to All-Conference first-team players Megan Donahue, Emily Traeger, and Jenna Jacoby, second-team players Morgan Nordbeck and Rhiannon Corazola, and honorable mention pick Melissa Roberts from the Marshfield Tiger Booster Club.
Stevens Point, the winner over Marshfield this evening, 77-70. Spash also won the girls' game tonight over Stevens Point, 62-47. We'll recap that ball game as well. during our postgame report this evening here on WDLB. Marshfield Tiger basketball on WDLB this evening. A service of the Baltus Bread and Butter Shops in Marshfield. Remember, when you gas up at the Baltus shop on North Central Avenue next to Walgreens and fill your vehicle at the Columbus Dons or Marshfield Tiger Pride Pump, 2 cents per gallon from that pump goes to that school system. That's at the Baltus Bread and Butter Shop next to Walgreens on North Central Avenue in Marshfield. Once again, Marshfield Tigers losing this boys contest. Made a great effort to come back in this one, but they lose it to Stevens Point this evening by a final score of 77-70. We'll talk about this ball game with Tiger basketball coach Scott Scheuer. Give you the final scoring and stats in this contest as well, following these messages.
No matter whose name is on the door, it's the person you deal with that really matters. That one-on-one relationship is what Citizen State Bank of Loyal is built on. We are a local bank. Decisions are made locally, loans are serviced locally, and if you have a question, you know who to ask. If you are looking to make some improvements around your home, upgrade, refinance, maybe add on, talk to one of the local folks at Citizen State Bank of Loyal, Branton, Neelsville, Spencer, or Marshfield. We're just down the street.
Every team needs the right connection to succeed. The same thing applies to your home or business. If something doesn't seem quite right, don't play amateur repair person. Contact Total Electric Service of Marshfield at 384-3311. Total Electric offers a 24-hour emergency service for residential, commercial, farm, and industrial jobs. Total Electric Service, the name says it all. Total service for all of your electric contracting needs. 384-3311.
When you think about it, investing is more than just money. You're trying to achieve something important for you or your family. That goal could be a comfortable retirement, college, or protecting your family. But here's the real question. What's important to you? Hi, I'm Randy Gershman, your Marshfield Edward Jones financial advisor. Setting a specific, realistic goal is the first step, and I can help. Contact me today at 715-387-8662. See for yourself how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Marshfield Tigers with a tough setback this evening, losing here at Stevens Point by a final score of 77-70. Again, the girls' contest this evening won by Stevens Point as well. That final score 62-47 as Stevens Point wins both of these ball games this evening. Let's bring in Marshfield Tiger basketball coach Scott Scheuer for some comments on this one. Coach, tough loss for your ball club this evening. Came awfully close, made some great plays, a great effort, but your thoughts about the way things went for the Tigers tonight?
Well, you're right. I thought we made some plays. Our effort was good. Just talked to the guys, and I told them, I said, I'm pleased with your effort. You know, performances in stretches, though, has to improve. And you could see everybody talks about Joey being out, and that's a huge, huge loss. But I tell you what, Spash is still really good. Very well coached. They moved the ball. They caught us on a couple backdoor cuts. You know, we talked about it, and you know, I can't fault my guys' effort, but like I said, you know, we just got to clean that up. And the difference was Drew. I mean, you know, I've watched enough over the years. He's just really smooth, and he's a difference maker. You know, he allows you to sleep. He can hit the jumper, so you got to contest outside, and he can get to the rim. And he does it in a fashion that if he doesn't make his shot, he's usually going to the free throw line. And you could see, you know, we had it right there within a shot, and then Drew just said it's too close, and he took over.
Yeah, a couple of times you came back and had it within a shot or two. Then, unfortunately, those last moments or so, 2 back-to-back turnovers, that really did not help your cause at all, did it?
Well, right, and I got 2 sophomores in the game, and, you know, there's one in the locker room that feels terrible about turning the ball over, and I said, hey, you can't do anything about that one now as long as, you know, you learn from it and just get tougher. And, again, we'll clean that up. But, again, Spash is very well coached, and they're going to win a lot of games even without Joe. And I thought, believe it or not, Isaac Meverden, for the first time seeing Drew, I thought he did a really good job of defending. Drew was really good.
Coach, can you talk about being down in the first half by, 14, and still came back, made this a game in the second half, got it, tied the ball game at 53, then they went back on top. He never caught him again, but down by 14 against this ball club and coming back in the second half to tie the ball game, that's quite an accomplishment.
no question. We talked about one possession at a time, and we clawed all the way back to within a shot. And, they just had a couple possessions where it got away from us a little bit. And against a good club, that can't happen. But, like I said, I got some young kids on the floor that don't have a lot of varsity experience, and against a top-notch club like Spash, that can't happen. And we'll just have to get better at that.
Boy, it's so difficult for any ball club, yours or anybody else, to come back defensively from a deficit like that, because you'd think at some point Blair or somebody, either Blair would score or he would get somebody else in position to score. And to make that many stops has to be very difficult for any ball club.
Yeah, I thought there was a stretch there where we got 3 stops in a row, and we didn't get anything on the other end. And you have to capitalize when you get a stop on the other end, especially with this club. You got to make them pay, and we weren't able to do that. And to their credit, they stretched it a little bit here at the end, but it was really good effort by my guys. We just need to improve on the performance.
Offensively, a lot of guys highlighted tonight. Now, we've got to talk about Seth Anderson. We have Seth with 29, but boy, some big shots by Tommy Olson, big shots by Brand Bowman tonight. A lot of guys making big contributions tonight.
Right, and we got a lot of guys that can, put the ball in the basket. And if Reed and Seth are not scoring, Anthony can score, Brandt can score. Tommy stepped up tonight, but I've seen that in practice, and I was just waiting for that night to come for him to kind of come out of his shell a little bit, and hopefully that'll give him some confidence and carry into the rest of the season.
All right, well, Coach, congratulations on the great effort this evening. We'll see you on Friday night.
Thanks, Gene.
Tiger basketball coach Scott Schroyer joining us. Stevens Point gets the win over Marshfield tonight in this boys contest, 77-70. And back to check the final stats in this ball game following these messages.
In these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local Dish-authorized retailer, Selk Electronics, with folks right here in your neighborhood to tell you the honest truth. Dish simply costs less for the very same channels for your home or your business. Dish and Selk Electronics have it at a reasonable price with old-fashioned service. Believe it. Call Selk Electronics at 715-683-2558 today and experience an expert who's happy to answer all your questions, whatever they may be. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
The cozy warmth after coming in from a chilly, pink-cheeked morning walk. The perfect man cave temperature to kick back and watch the big game. When the weather turns cold, a new Rheem heating system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Feel the warmth this winter with a new home heating system installed by the local pros at Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. Call Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling today or see them in Marshfield at 1209 West Veterans Parkway.
You always get more at Baltus.
The Baltus Tire and Lube location across from the post office in Marshfield has many brands of tires at special prices right now. Be ready for winter driving with new tires. While you're there, get a free car wash with any oil change at Baltus across from the post office in Marshfield.
You always get more at Baltus.
Win goes to Stevens Point this evening, 77-70. Let's review the final scoring in this ball game. A service of the people for whom numbers matter the most, Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. Stevens Point this evening led by Drew Blair with a career-high 40 points. Blair tonight had 15 baskets. None of those were threes, by the way. He came in shooting 39% from three-point range with 7 three-point baskets. Did not make a three tonight, but he did have 15 baskets and was 10 of 14 on the foul line. 3 other Stevens Point players in double figures. Andrew Erdman, 12 points, 5 baskets, 2 were threes. Brennan Mueller, 11 points, 4 baskets, 1 was a 3, 3 of 3 on the foul line. Drew Cullen, 11 points, 4 baskets, 3 of those were threes. Sam Simmons, a basket for 2. Max Hoffmeister, 1 of 2 on the foul line for 1. Darren Zwicker did not score for Stevens Point. For Marshfield, Seth Anderson, a career-high 29 points. Seth had 11 baskets. 4 of those were threes. He was 3 of 3 on the foul line. That's a career-high 29 for Seth Anderson. Reed Miller, 11 points, 4 baskets, 1 was a 3, 2 of 2 on the foul line. Brant Bowman, 11 points, 5 baskets, 1 was a 3. Brant in double figures for the 4th time this year. Tommy Olson, a career-high 12 points. And Tommy tonight had 4 baskets. 4 baskets, 3 were 3s, and 1 of 1 on the foul line. Isaac Meverden, 7 points, 3 baskets, 1 3, 0 of 2 on free throws. Anthony Postolik did not score. Tigers on the foul line, 6 of 8. Spash, 14 of 19. Marshfield had 12 turnovers. Spash had 4 turnovers tonight and 0 in the first half. Spash led at halftime, 41-32. Marshfield outscored Stevens Point in the second half, 38-36. Marshfield's biggest lead was 3. Point's biggest lead was 14. We had 3 ties at 2, 5, and 53, and 5 lead changes all in the first half. Marshfield's biggest rebounder, Reed Miller with 10, Meverden 7, Anderson 6, Bowman and Postolik 3, Olson with 1. And Stevens Point gets the win over Marshfield tonight, 77-70. Our post-game stats, a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most. Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. And back with more from Stevens Point in just